Hey, family. Hey. Oh, how y'all doing? Hit one if you can hear me. Shalom. Let's see. All right. What's up, y'all? Having to change some lighting, so y'all bear with me. I'm really trying to test it out to make sure that I have enough lighting. So how does the lighting look, family? It's been an ordeal to get this lighting together in this room. So I'm trying to see. No, that adds takes away from it. All right, family. Shalom. What's going on, family? What do y'all got going on? Let me see who out here. Family. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. Let me pay attention. All right, we got Enosh. Hold on, y'all. I didn't close my door. Hold on. All right, I'm glad. Thank y'all. I have really been trying to work on that lighting because it's been bad for a good little minute. I've been trying to work on it. I went to the what is it? The camera store, asking what can I do for lighting. I went as far as showing the man my videos and said, okay, tell me what I can do with my lighting because I know I can do better. So with that being said, I bought me, where is my, y'all know I can't find my chapstick. Oh, I gotta go find it. Hold on. I know where it is. It's in my purse. Let me go get my purse. Or let me go get my big satchel. It has everything in it. Whoa. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, I gotta buy me a new purse because this big old purse I got, it's ridiculous. Found it. Now let me find my chapstick and we can get started. Y'all know me. Pray for me. Here we go. I found it. I got two in here. All right. Thank you, Talisha. I try my best to do this lighting thing. Y'all know how it is. You sent me a message on Hebrew Sphere. Angie Love, I gotta go out there. Y'all forgive me with Hebrew Sphere. I have not been the way I should be with it. Hear me. I have not done, thank you so much, what I should do with Hebrew Sphere. So I will be going out there this weekend. Well, the weekend is almost up. But I will go out there and check all the messages. I know I have a lot of messages out there. So I'm gonna check it. So because I am, y'all. Hebrew Sphere has been, because I'm even tapering. I do some stuff. I say some stuff on Facebook, but I've been lately kind of tapering off and not doing as much. Why not for any type of reasoning of, oh, I'm doing a sabbatical. It's just hadn't been out there in a while. As far as, Facebook, like I said, I make comments and do little things, but I haven't even really did a lot of Facebook. I've mostly been doing stuff on YouTube, and I've even pulled back from Clubhouse. So forgive me. I will go back and go and check messages. Like I said, I have been just like really busy, like real busy, family. So I'm trying to get this light. This light is bright in my face, y'all, but I know I got to do better. Yeah, somebody hacked my, let me let y'all know. Okay, so you see that message? Let me do this first. Let me say hey to everybody, and then I'm going to tell y'all what happened to my page, my YouTube page. Interesting. So let me say, Skinny Man, what's up? Ivy, yeah, you Taylor, Darnell, Enosh, Angie Love, what's up? Fazi, the Hebrew. Hello, Ivy. Lamar, I haven't seen you in a while, Ivy. What's up, Talisha? Karen, what's going on? Amaral, Hope I'm saying that right. What's up with you? Israelite wife, what's going on? What's it? Israelite wife, Rashana. Hope I'm saying that right. Blacktastic himself, Rochelle. Hey, sis, we haven't seen y'all. I haven't seen you in a good little minute, so I'm excited to see you out here. I haven't seen you in a good little while. We are so happy to see you out here. Let's see. We got Brew Queen, M Treads, Shonda at Large, Pastor Renice, what's up? Susan, Ellen, what's going on, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? How was everybody's Sabbath first? That's my first question. How was everybody's Sabbath? I hope everything was all was well. Y'all enjoyed yourselves. I rested. I spent time with my daughter. What did I do? I spent a lot of time with my daughter today. I spent time with her because I do so much with work and then do stuff here that I said, yeah, I'm gonna spend time with her. It's getting hot. These lights ain't no joke. Either I'm flashing or these lights hot. And I don't think I'm old enough. It ain't time for me to flash yet, y'all. Just talking, just running my mouth. But yeah, I don't think I'm quite ready for flashing yet. But I chilled with my daughter. Me and her went to breakfast, ate breakfast this morning. What did we do today? We rested. Me and her just hung out. We spent a lot of time together. We needed that time. And actually just got home. So we just hung out. We just had a good, it was a wonderful, wonderful Sabbath. I needed that today. I chilled with kiddo. Don't play Renice flashing. It does have an age. I'm not ready for that yet. It ain't my time yet. But just chilled with family. That was the gist of my Sabbath. Actually could have went to Richmond today. I was thinking about it, but I was like, I need to spend time with kiddo, spend time with her. And we did. I put my phone away. When I finally talked to someone on the phone, it was like late. It was like after dark. It was around, it's about 7:00. And that was Blacktastic. I had called him because I was asking him a question and ended up talking to him for about an hour or so. Yeah, I ended up just resting. Yeah, I'm still young. You're right. Them treads, I'm still young. I'm not there yet. But it's these lights. I got like lights coming from this way, and this way. So I'm a little hot. It's a little warm in here. But like I said, just hung out with family. It was a good Sabbath. Very, very good Sabbath. So I enjoyed it. People tend to think don't see Sabbath as a different. We see it differently. I don't see it as rushing, hurry up, get ready, go somewhere, and then I'm exhausted all Saturday. I relax and then I'll go to an assembly, but if I don't, I just watch it or just rest. And that was the gist. I'm sorry, y'all. I was thirsty. So if y'all heard me drinking, so sorry. I didn't get my water today, so I feel it. So I wasn't making trouble in DC just yet. But I was in DC today. I did. I went to see the city. Because I hadn't been out in a while. And it was such a pretty day. We walked and we actually, I got a book. It was like an Afro sci-fi book. It's interesting. I'm going to look at it. It's like one of those comic novels. So I got that. and I'll read that probably this week. Just go through it. But that was it. That was the gist of my Sabbath. I was in Virginia for a little bit and made my way out to Maryland. So I was so mad because parking is horrible in Maryland. In DC, I was ready to just give up and just say, I'm going home. But I found a parking place. So I had to go to a garage, which I don't like to do, but I did it. But that was the gist. Renice or Blacktastic, if y'all want to hop in here, y'all welcome. Y'all more than welcome. I'm just running my mouth right now because I just decided to, and then I want to kind of test these lights out, trying to find this one this one is real weak. I'm almost wondering, do I need to take this one? But that was it. That was it. So if y'all want to get up in here, y'all welcome. Where's my phone? It's just in case. Here we go. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. All right. I'm trying to see who wants to come in here. Bust a freestyle. You won't laugh at me like I'm Vocab. Vocab tries his best and makes an utter mess of himself. Not today, Saints. I know my strengths. He doesn't. We're around here rapping and it's just like, all right, find a day job. Yep, I know my strengths. Some folks don't, but continue on with the rap battle. Now, Mages can rap. Now, Mages, thank you so much. You like my mic. I've had this mic now for a good little minute. I've just not bought a stand for it because I needed it. And these are little things that, I've gotten along the way and just put it aside and just decided, you know what? Let me start putting this stuff together. But thank you so much. I've had this mic for a good little minute. But let's see. Is everything okay now? Everything's good. Oh, let me tell y'all what happened to my account. That's what I forgot. Okay, so last night after we ended up closing up, I think it was me and who else? Blacktastic and Woman and Yacoba. We kind of, how we close up sometime in the StreamYard and end it, and we'll kind of stay in the back and still kind of talk for a few seconds, like probably about 5-10 minutes. And thank you, Brew Queen. Thank you so much. But so we sat back for about 5-10 minutes, all of us talking. And then I try to stay on top of my comments for my videos, because what I do is every single comment that comes in from my videos are on hold because I have to sometimes approve them. Now, people that consistently comment, they don't really have to go. YouTube doesn't stop their comments. Like Ruhama doesn't usually gets through. Rochelle, Black Tax, different people like that. But any brand new person that may make a comment that I've never approved, it stays in the status of hold and review. So I went back there and looked at my hold and review comments. And there was a hold and review that said Sista E. I said, wait a minute. If I comment, it's not going to hold my comments because that's my page, my YouTube page. It's going to, and usually when I respond to a comment, it goes straight through. So it wouldn't hold my comment because it's my page. I said, something ain't right. So the whole time, Blacktastic and Yacoba just talking. And I'm looking at my iPad like, what is this? And lo and behold, someone was soliciting money out of individuals. And I mean, it went through everybody in my chat. Like everybody got hit by this one person under the alias of Sista E saying to donate money to Nigeria. So the good thing is because I think they look at, I don't know what they look at, but it knew it wasn't me. So it stayed in hold and review. So when it's in hold and review, Nobody sees the comment but me. Nobody sees it. So the comment was, that was my Nigerian alter ego. That's funny. So because it was sitting back there, nobody saw it but me. So I looked at it and I have to approve it. So once if I would have approved it, that person would have been able to make consistent comments. Or if I reject it or I hide it, or even sometimes I hide the channel, block them, report them, do whatever. I go to the page. The page was created January 2021. I said, somebody has created a account. Yeah, I heard about Sister Carrie Ann had the same issue. So I said, hold on, somebody creating dummy accounts. And I created a dummy account in my name. Now, what I instantly did was I went straight and what did I do? I ended up reporting the channel and blocking the person from ever making comments. So they shut the channel down. I went out there and checked it. They shut it. I actually talked to you. I had somebody from YouTube on the chat. I chatted with them and they told me what to do. And as soon as I reported it, they shut the channel down. So lo and behold, it is what it is. But anybody that most of the time YouTube is very good about this, that if you're not a normal person that comments, they hold your comment. And won't let it come through. So with that being said, that's what happens. See, I explain if somebody makes a hacked account, other people don't. I make sure my viewers know. And if anybody ran across it, I apologize. Hey. But I addressed it and it was cleaned up very fast. But I think it was just interesting. It was funny. But wait a minute. Hold on. Are you serious? Someone took over my laptop last night. The camera came on and started recording skill. Are you? See, I can't. I can't with the Saints. I can't. No telling what they seeing. I mean, they looking that much. The most they gonna see at night when I'm asleep is snoring, a bonnet on my head. I'm not the prettiest thing late at night. Sleep. But I'm glad you're good, Angela. What I do sometimes is put tape over my camera when I'm not using it because I've heard things like that happening. So. Man, they doing the most right now. But everything was addressed and closed. So if y'all see anybody, if y'all see anybody with a fake account asking for money, soliciting money, doing anything that's not me, let me know. Email me, reach out to somebody, let me know that someone is trying to scam you. So I don't solicit money. I don't do nothing. Just make sure anything that's outside of my character, ask me and I'll respond. So, because, first I thought it was the other group and then they said Nigeria. I said, wait a minute, maybe this is somebody over there trying to hack, solicit money. And like I said, someone told me Sister Carrie went through the same thing. So I kind of figured that was the same person, but it was shut down fast. So, yep, I do. I cover my, also, Angela, yep, I cover my lens with black. Well, I haven't lately because every time I go to sleep, I shut my laptop down. I don't leave it on. I had a PlayStation. PlayStation has that little camera on it. That's in a box somewhere because I found out they were doing that as well with the PlayStations. The PlayStation is smooth in the box. Let me see. What else? Let me see. Greetings, Mr. Original School. What's going on? Blacktastic, you want to get up here? Or you still gonna harass people in the chat? You know, he likes to harass people. Lately, he ain't had a chance to harass people. We putting him to work. He ain't in the chat harassing people. So you're welcome to come up here. Shonda too as well. Y'all just text me, let me know if y'all want to come up here, Shonda. And the crew, y'all welcome to come up. So, family, I hope that you all have been enjoying all the stuff that we have been working on. These are things that I have been wanting to do with the community for a good little minute. I wanted to do, teachings about Revelation and all that. So I hope y'all been enjoying it, because I've been enjoying it as well. It's making me study a little bit more than norm. Revelation is just one of those that take a lot of energy. What are my neighbors doing upstairs? They sound like they doing I don't know, Watusi, whatever they doing up there, they laugh. Wow, gotta love it. Let me see. I'm looking at this chat as well. Y'all watch the chat. Hold on. Let me send this to somebody. Let's see if they want to come up here. Y'all, my neighbors sound like they about to fall through the ceiling. Ooh, I can't deal with it. And then I got weird neighbors that's been knocking at my door saying, "What are y'all doing at night? Are you dancing?" I'm like, "I'm just walking. I think these floors are thin." Let me see. I'm tempted to go ahead and buy a house, but I'm still sketchy with what's going on. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I'm going to send this to whoever wants to join. All right. Let me see. 1 second, family. I'm sending it to whoever wants to join in the family. Hold on. Y'all, hold on. Let me see. Okay. Let me see, y'all, and then we can get started. Finish up. I'm trying to find Ashonda. I know I got your number saved. Oh, jeez, just pray for me, y'all. Pray for me. I know I have Ashonda's number saved in here. I've texted you, sis, since I've texted you this yesterday, I think. Hold on. No, that's not. Hold on. Shonda, I did not just text you. Yep, here it is. Oh, I started texting you, sis, and then didn't hear saying, "Pray for me." I've done that before. Oh, what's your email? Shonda, you making me send you an email. Now I got to go. Hold on. Why did I ask you what's your email? I know your email. Hold on. Shonda at large. Here we go. Paste. There we go. Just send it to you. I'm gonna make it fun today. Y'all ain't gonna have me out here by myself today. Any news around the world interesting? But y'all, do y'all realize that I have not been watching news? Watching the news? Y'all know that's out of my character. Y'all know that's out of my character. Y'all know typically, I am one that watches the news. And because work and oh my gosh, what are my neighbors doing? Jesus. Work, and just work and work and work and YouTube. I have not gotten well, YouTube isn't bad. I haven't gotten a chance to really do any I don't watch news. The news. Like during the day when I'm working, I'm in here. And this room right here has no TV other than I have my iPad. And because I've had so much to do at work, I have not turned on any type of news or anything because I have files. Files, if you got the app, you can download, the app, and you can have, live TV. And I just have not watched the news. I haven't watched anything. And I think some of it is I just don't feel like being depressed. That's another thing. It can be depressing sometimes. Let me fix this. Y'all see? This is my new light. One of my many lights. Hey, my sis.
Hi.
What's going on? Beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Look. Let me tell
You looking like a model. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I had to put my little cap on, right? Because I had just twisted my hair up. I said, I can't go in here looking too ghetto.
You don't look ghetto, sis. You never look ghetto. You look like a model. What's going
Oh my
on?
goodness.
Hold on, I'm trying to get this mic. How you
Girl,
doing, sis?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good. I'm up late as usual. Look, the water heater went out again.
Oh,
And I'm telling you, it's just like life and its challenges, But I'm good though, I'm good. I'm just taking it one day at a time. I don't have no snacks right now.
and that's
So
why I was
other
going
than
to ask
that,
you. What snack are you eating? My sister, let me tell y'all something. I love my sister Shonda
uh,
because God blessed her with
uh,
a blessed metabolism. Like he just said, I'm going to anoint you with a wonderful metabolism. That's the only sis that I know that can remain slender and eat in the middle of the night. The hours that she eats, I'm just like, I would blow up. Shonda will text me or I'll text her and I'll be like, what you doing? It'll be 12 o'clock. Oh, I'm getting a snack. I'm like, I can't even smell a snack at midnight. God says I'm a blessing Shonda with a
but you know
blessed
what though?
metabolism.
You know what though? I don't know.
What you say?
You know what? I can't. I eat better in the evening. I eat better in the evening than I do in the morning. Like, my husband be coming to me and be like, "Babe, I'm gonna make you a nice little breakfast." I'm like, "All right, I appreciate it." And then he'd be like, "All right, you want some coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll have some coffee." And then he'll put the plate in front of me. I'm like, "All I can do is the coffee right now." I don't know what it is. It's like I don't really have an appetite until the afternoon, and then I go into the evening. I'm weird like that. I am.
You just
Y'all pray
blessed, honey.
for me. Pray
No,
that I
that's
get
a
on a good.
blessing. I'll be like, what are you
You
doing?
think so?
That's a blessing. You can eat a snack in the middle of the night. I can't even. I feel guilty today because today was a cheat day. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Did I go overboard? You eat snacks in the middle. You just be like, I'm eating a snack. I just be like,
You
oh, hmm. What you say?
you know what I think it is? I think it is too, is that in the middle of the night the babies are sleeping. So I can actually enjoy what I'm eating. That's what it is. They be coming to you, Mom, can I have what you have? Mm-mm. You can't eat what I'm eating at 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-mm.
Because that one you sent me the
Oh my
picture,
goodness.
because he would not go to sleep. I said, oh, that's so sweet. Your son, you said he wouldn't go to sleep. I was like, oh, bless
Jojo,
you.
he's still up too. No. He just started walking. He started walking
Oh,
2 days ago.
oh
I,
my goodness.
I'm
That's
like,
so sweet.
my baby.
I missed that.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
man,
I
what's
know.
up?
What's up? Hey, y'all remember that from that movie Scream? Like, what's up?
Y'all,
What's up,
What's
Mr.
up, y'all?
Fantastic? Good to see you.
he laughing because he knows it's going to be
Oh
ugly.
man, we good.
We're going to give him a
Good.
hard
Yeah,
time.
I'm sitting up here. Well, I'm sitting up here doing measurements and taking pictures
We got to give them a
for the
hard
women
time.
folk that's about to
We
come in here and
outnumber them
turn
again.
my, huh?
We may have one more woman coming here, and it's just gonna be
No,
black.
man, my family. They gonna come in here and take over, man.
Oh, they coming?
Well, in bits and pieces to do they that's why I decorated my bathroom first, because when they leave here, I want my apartment to at least look like a man live here and not like they want it to look. So the apartment look like a man uses the restroom. My bathrooms are manly. They gonna come in here and put in curtains. I don't know what they gonna look like. They gonna probably make me rearrange it. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I'm just
See, I did. My problem is I'll pick one room and then stop. Like my living room, I got the entertainment center pictures, I got everything, but I stopped there. My room is just a room with a nice dresser bed. I got pictures on my floor that I need to put up on the wall. My bathroom is carpet and a shower curtain.
see.
And makeup all on the table. Now I gotta work on that because the makeup case is all over the place.
Well, see, I know my cousin's coming in this weekend. One of them already here, but he a dude, so he ain't gonna do nothing. But the other one coming in tomorrow, and she like, you need curtains? Send me pictures. So I had to take pictures. I don't know what she bringing. I just told her, don't be bringing no pastels and paisleys up in here.
I'm
A
gonna tell you.
man, a man lives here. And then my sister and my godmother still coming, and I don't know what they gonna suggest. So, because
Now I'm hot. Now I'm cold.
I'm not gonna argue with none of them. We're just gonna say whatever. Okay.
Yeah, you better not argue. Better not. I tell them put all pink and yellow in your house.
They should do teal.
See,
Teal's beautiful.
teal is cool, but you gotta have some, some darker, more, robust, manly stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want my house looking like I'm about to say an Easter speech every day.
And say, make sure, y'all. I'm struggling with this little jacket.
Good earthy colors.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Nope, pinks and yellows.
See, y'all hear that? See, I want some nice regular stuff.
Y'all, I got my only thing I got in this room is I got a Memphis Blues picture, and like if y'all saw what was going on behind the screen, y'all be like, E, what is going on with you? Then, oh, bless you, brother Bruce, bless you. And I got Madison's bass guitar in here only because she has no room, and this is in here. This is hers.
That's a nice guitar.
That is. It is. She was about to put. She got this. I got two keyboards, a sound ranger board, this, and 2 amps. I'm like, this apartment isn't that big, right? So, but that's what's in that room.
Sorry, y'all.
So is everybody experiencing this good weather that we getting down here in Georgia? It was like 79 degrees today.
That's what I need to know. Shonda, what is the weather like out there? Because I know you are that's in the most beautiful part of the world. So
what's going on?
Come on,
well, I ain't trying to boast or nothing, but it's
boast.
About 80, 85.
See,
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm telling you, it is beautiful. I can't even fake. It's beautiful. I wake up every morning to an ocean view. I ain't gonna lie. That's something to keep me calm.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I cannot with the cold. I can't with that cold weather. No, I have my share. I wish I could come out.
Man, she got that beach walking weather. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. I would never get no work done. I would just be sitting on the beach. They'll be like, "Hey, you were?" I'm like, She's in the Caribbean.
That's all I do.
Man,
I'm in in St. Thomas USVI. That's all I do is I'm telling you. Look, they don't like nobody lazy here, you know. They're like, you're lazy, the man. You're too lazy. Go work, the man. Go work.
Hold on, Ashonda is a true prophetess because I
Y'all
just
know how
got
to
this
ask her.
text. And guess what color my curtain's gonna be tomorrow?
What? Pink.
Teal.
See, I love that. I love that. Tell your sister I said good night. Hey, I'm finna pass it to Teo. Come on in. We're gonna have a party tonight. Ain't nobody doing nothing.
As soon as she leaves, I'm gonna put up some black bed sheets.
Come on. Y'all have the link. I sent it to you, Teo. It's a party tonight.
You can tell us how to feel. We try to save them, brother, but you know, he killing them off, man.
That is too funny. Hey, I sent y'all the link. Ain't nobody doing nothing. It ain't nothing but party tonight. The Hebrew party.
He killing off the seals. We should have did 7 dollars.
You know what? I would have sent LaShonda the link, but I saw LaShonda was on a live last night. I hate when we bump heads with each other, and I didn't know that Elephant Man had something going on. When we bump heads, it's just like we all need to build a schedule of who going live because it's getting down with like the Pope viewers be going back and forth.
But look, Karen's go live every morning, so I'm like, I can't put nothing on in the morning because I'm like, nah, man, it's my brother.
Karen's go live.
And then we be all trying to, we be doing it tonight.
Man, you know what?
And then you was on.
You said what?
Mr. Black Tax was on earlier too. You was on. I saw you. I was in your chat for a minute.
Yes, I saw it. Yeah, because I was watching the Sabbath services earlier, and I was bouncing back between Pastor Elder Douglas and Boom and different ones, you know, because it was just like this Sabbath is like a buffet, you know. And I was really get to enjoy. You know, I brought up earlier. You know, Pastor Renice did a great teaching on the Sabbath a few weeks ago, you know, and it helped put things. I hope for all those who are listening, it helped put things in perspective in terms of, you know, how to honor the Sabbath and things of this sort. You know, one of the main aspects she was talking about was, you know, you need to rest sometime.
Yep.
You know, you need to, you know, learn how to give yourself, you know, that moment, you know, and things. And I was studying the Sabbath because I had a bunch of questions from that. Believe it, let me tell y'all something. This is how one reason I know this awakening is real, because you'd be shocked at how many Christians are asking me questions in private that don't nobody to know. And they always want to know about things that we discuss all the time. They want to know about Sabbath. They want to, because a lot of them are saying, well, you know, they asking questions about Sunday worship, Saturday worship. And I tell them, I say, listen, you can worship any day of the week. You know, there's no restriction on when you can worship the Most High. You know, but the Sabbath, you know, he said, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. It's reserved for a specific reason. You know, and you need to research and understand why he said that about that particular day, so you know what it's for. And so a lot of people are asking questions, but they pulling a Nicodemus on us. You know, it said Nicodemus came to Yeshua by night. You know, he said, Rabbi, we know. In other words, he wasn't just asking for himself. He had been together with a group of people. They were talking, you know. And so people are asking questions. They're watching more than you realize. They're watching and they're listening, you know. And so we got to stand firm and be ready to answer those questions.
But, you know, it's scary, though. It's scary for a lot of people because, you know, I remember when I was first waking up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was a leader in my church. And it was like, you know, this whole, because my church was so integrated and multicultural, I mean, you know, we had a lot of brews in the church. We had white leadership. and it was a lot of, decent Gentile people in there. So it was kind of like, you know, you don't want to come off like, okay, learning more about who I am, does that make me racist now? And people will make you feel that way, you know. I was hurt because I had a pastor friend, I had talked about this before, that we were very close. I mean, we were very close, and he was actually from Guyana. And his son passed away. And his son was young. His son served the Most High, like nobody had seen before. But he passed away at the age of 33. But when I had started to finally get confident about who we were as a people, I had made a post on Facebook talking about how the Ish people couldn't be the people just based off of the hieroglyphs and the paintings in Egypt of what the Hebrews look like. Like, how do you get from this to this? And I said, learning the truth doesn't make you a racist. It just makes you honest, right? And he replied back to me
That's right.
that I was a racist.
Wow.
And then he deleted me and blocked me. And I was like, whoa, I'm telling you, I've had some experiences with people that have been like really close or seemingly very close. And this is that one issue. They were like, no, I can't go there with you. So I definitely can understand that coming in the middle of the night, because they haven't built up enough fortitude and enough strength to get out of the mind control, because that's really what it is, to break free from that and say, no, how does me knowing who I really am, how does that become a threat to you, or to your institution? That's the institution that was set up before us in the form of mind control and white supremacy. So it doesn't mean that I hate anybody. We all go through that process of getting angry, like, I can't believe I've been lied to realizing that we were the disobedient ones. The curse is brought upon us because of what our ancestors did. And the Most High used it to get us into a place where we would be jealous, like he said, in his word, that he would give and offer salvation to the Gentiles and would draw us back to him because of that jealousy. But nevertheless, because he has been so gracious in waking us up, we have a responsibility to be light and salt to the nations, to our nation first and to the other nations. So all that anger and stuff and resentment, he helps us to taper away from that. I love that's what Pastor Louis was talking about last night when I was watching y'all, about how y'all different, not y'all, us, we're different, because people expect so much vitriol and anger and to stay with us, and the Most High, because of the Ruach, helps us to have balance and moderation in our faith. That we still put Yahusha as the forefront. He's still the center of who we are. So anyway, y'all, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah.
I had that same conversation today. I'm traveling, y'all. I'm over all the way over yonder. But I had that same conversation today with one of my leaders that's on my leadership team. They came from a traditional apostolic church, and the thing was the pastor knowing our ethnicity and heritage. But then the question was, well, she couldn't understand, like, well, why won't he say it to the people? I said, listen, it's a whole lot that you have to grasp and transition through. And the big scheme of things, like when you look at it all, I would prefer them looking at that doctrine concerning what salvation, then coming out talking about some who we are, because that's something that comes. The biggest portion of me, like you saying, is traditional apostolic belief that salvation comes not just by receiving Christ, but the speaking of tongues and the evidence and all that we okay. Let's work on that part first before we just come out with the who we are as a people, because in the big scheme of things, you have to walk through the process. And it's important that those pastors and leaders who come into this understanding that, yes, the Hebraic perspective of the Bible is how we should approach the text. You have got to be able to find that right balanced support that's going to help you tunnel through that, because it is, I don't care what nobody say, it is a very lonely experience to transition from going from all of this to wait and wait. So I can't wait. It's like a process, and we can't snatch like brother like Tasik was saying. When people come understanding the Sabbath, we have to be able to let them know, okay, it's not about snatching a day from you. We're not, it's not snatching what you've been accustomed to doing all your life. Wait, stay right there. Don't go nowhere before you make a move. Embrace and figure out what you're being brought into. What is the illumination of what now you're seeing now that you've never seen before? Wait, stay right there, be processed in it. And I think that's what we have to help people, especially. And Sister Shanti, it's amazing. You said you were in leadership before in the church. I find that always fascinating that those of us who are in this awakening are leaders. It goes to say, the Bible says he will bring nothing but by his apostles and his prophets first. All right. So, with that being said, all of the leaders that are being challenged because they're having to address these issues, we have to be able to, because I was radical too. Wait, stop. Before you make a move, stop. What part of what you believe right now you need to look at? Wait, before you start moving in, wait, stop. What do you have to do first to be able to transition? All right, is it about the day or is it more about being obedient? So, what do you have to do differently, right, by what you're doing now? I think if we put those, help them put those pieces together, it won't be something that's so radical, because you do go through a lonely process. You do go through a process of being isolated. You go through a process of throwing everything you knew against the wall. Y'all know my spaghetti analogy. I learned how to cook spaghetti by throwing them noodles on the wall, and if it's stuck, it's done. If it fell down, you got to keep cooking.
Right, right, right.
So everybody has to go through that. And I wish when I came to truth so many years, it's been 10 years, but I was super, I keep saying I was so super radical. Y'all would not have, y'all been doing some YouTube videos on me. If I would have stayed where I was, I promise you. I promise. Like literally. Because who brings you and expose you to this level of truth is the spirit you take on. You know, you do that same thing. And so I think what you're saying is true. You have to be able to process. It's not about trying to identify with a specific group. It's not identifying with a specific, community. It's about identifying with what the Father says according to his word, period. Stand on that, period, before you do anything. And I think we easily do that moving thing because as African American melanated people, we've been ostracized and rejected all of our life. So, and I can now say that just through me processing these things you see, you got to go through the process. Like even for me, well, why didn't I want? I kept telling people I am not an Israelite. Don't call me it because people ask you those questions. So you one of them? What is one of them? I used to be like, you one of them? I used to be like, one of who? It was like, okay, yeah. Oh. Then I got to the place where people say, you one of them? One of who? Them people. What people? The Israelites. The Israelites? Yeah, you know the people that, well, what about the people? Because now I'm going to let you tell me what you know, because then I'm going to figure out whether I'm going to address you and even answering your questions. Because if you're not learned, if you're not processed correctly through, listen, no matter what I say, it's not going to matter because I'm not going to debate anything. Let's talk about where you are in the word. So I think that is, like you said, Sister Shani, something that's big. Blacktastic people are coming into this understanding of truth, and coming into truth is not coming into always just who we are, but coming into the word and what the word says, period. You know what I mean? And then the extras, the icing on the cake. Yeah, we them people. Listen, yeah, this is where I fit. You know what I'm saying? Rah rah. But I think that's good. How do we do that? How do we develop a place where people can come and connect to those who are, to be able to help them go through everything? That's important. That's important.
Amen. I'll say this because I still keep in contact. I still have a lot of contacts in the Orthodox Church, and I got pretty good relationships with a lot of them. And so I do talk to some people that are pretty high up in some of these denominational organizations like the PAW, COGIC, and I talked to some of these bishops. And I had a bishop tell me recently, because he's been a mentor of mine almost since I've been saved for nearly 30 years, for nearly the entire 30 years now. And I asked him straight out. I said, "You were the first minister beside my father that I ever heard talk about the Israelites being black." But then he would take it a step further and say that basically we are the people. But at the time he was saying this, he wasn't a bishop. He was just another elder, local pastor in the organization. So, and even though he was a popular preacher who people called on, he was saying, "I can't say this everywhere. I can talk it, I can say it locally in my neighborhood, the community, and to my local assembly. But they won't let me say this." So then, now all these years later, now he's been elevated to bishop within the organization. He told me, and he sent me some information and showed me pictures of him over in Israel, talking to members of the Knesset and different ones like that. And he said to me, he said, "Listen, I'm gonna tell you straight out. A lot of us do believe and teach that we are the children of Israel." He said, "However, because now where the organizations are aligned socially and politically in terms of in these communities and different things," he said, "and because of what's happened in the past in their meetings when the issue has come up," he said, "it's been so heated and divisive." He said, "It'll probably be something that we never take minutes on and discuss openly." In other words, their debates on the issue have basically been relegated to, if you believe that, teach that at your church to your congregation, but don't teach that in the organization, and don't teach that at these conventions, and don't say that, because it'll cause another split in the denomination that will send, and we end up we already got over 40,000 denominations, and it would just create more. And so, but a lot of the pastors, he was saying, he said, "Man," he said, you know how many arguments we've had about that?" He said, "Which is why we basically just agreed, we just ain't gonna discuss it anymore amongst us. And it's basically gonna be left up to the local pastors to decide what they're gonna do." But at the time that they do that, my thinking is, if you're a local pastor who believes this and you start teaching it, the organization gonna probably kick you out. They're gonna tell you, take your group and y'all go on and get out. And so, because a lot of them, and some of these denominations, these people have been in these organizations for a long time. So there's a sense of tradition and things of this sort, and you got family ties and all this stuff in it. So what I would say to us is, there's more people that know the truth than we probably realize that are still connected to, these, most of these Orthodox, so-called Orthodox Christian denominations. And then the apostolic churches, because a lot of their beliefs do line up with a lot of first century Christianity beliefs and Nazarene beliefs. A lot of them do say it, but it's just where they say it and who they say it to. And I've noticed that. So it's things are happening, and what we have to do is pray for boldness, and just pray that as the Most High bring more people to the light and things of these sort, that because I don't want to judge none of the pastors. I don't call them cowards or anything, because a lot of them I know, and I know they're not cowards, but I don't understand the situation or position that they're in, because from one of the elders, he had told me, he said, well, years ago, he said, this was known back, he said, way back, he said, even during around the time of Azusa, he said it became more of a talked about thing even after that, like in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. He said, but the problem was we were being lynched and having our churches bombed and our people were being murdered, and we couldn't, and we were already just being persecuted because we were black. just on skin tone alone. So then if we would have came out and said we Israel too, it would have probably been even worse because we weren't in a position to really defend ourselves at that particular point in time. So a lot of the older saints and older bishops and head leaders who knew this that passed on, they basically try to put things in place to preserve and protect the Black community from further being victims of violence and persecution and things. And so some things they kind of just, said, hey, you got to be cool on this for right now because this is not the time. But now since they've been passed on, times have changed. But I think there's still a lot of that fear. And then for some folks, it's just like, it's not beneficial to them to come out and say it. So you got some of those that have sold out as well. But you got a lot of them now that's like, maybe this is the time. So the awakening has gone far beyond what we know. And it's being discussed. And there's a situation that is bubbling over some of these places. And I just say, like the Lord told us, watch and pray, because there's going to be some decisions that I believe are going to be made, over the next few years, until the Lord returns. And we got to pray for some of these people, because some of them are our relatives and friends and brethren and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of people in the valley of decision right now.
I think with what's going on with this awakening, I understand. All of us know that it was something that we've heard from our grandparents and our great grandparents, that always said that, we're the people of the book, we're the people of the Bible. My uncle, who rest his soul, loved him and still love him so much. He passed away from cancer about, my daughter's 18 now. So my daughter's like 9 when he passed away. And he was the one that actually told me that we were the people, of the Bible, that Black people were, people in the Bible were Black, period. And so it's always been like that quiet conversation amongst family members. But because of fear of what society will do as far as their response, and being so how can I say, I want to say, being so involved in the church, I'm gonna say it in a nice way, that's always been something that that doesn't matter. We don't have to talk about that. Well, my uncle wasn't like that. My uncle was always a radical, but he was a pastor as well. But it was always something that, when he first told me that, it kind of never resonated with me until it was time for me to be able to understand what that meant. And I moved with it. And when I finally moved with it, I understand what Pastor Renee says. You go through a period of isolation. And when you go through that isolation is not a bad thing. It's between you and the Most High, for you and him to kind of get an understanding of, what is this, God, you put in my lap. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to handle this. And then you start reading the Bible, understanding his word, and you begin to isolate yourself because you're kind of not necessarily looking at what's going on in your environment and comparing it to what's in the Bible, but you begin to say, I got to check myself, because I'm going through a phase that I can't tolerate, or I can't deal with the misteachings of the church and read the word. I can't play both sides of the fence. I got to stop for a minute, because now I'm confused and I'm going to become, double-minded. So I had to kind of sit down and take a chill for a minute. Like, you know what? Let me take this in, and let me figure out what this means to me and how I'm going to deal with this. Then I actually went through, I didn't go through quite like a radical phase like Renice went through, because Renice told me it really wasn't radical for Renice, but it was a little bit, like, if we would have been talking about this, if she was still there, just know that. She would have been one of the ones we would have been like, let's talk about her real quick. No, I'm just joking. But I went through my own, where I had started arguing with the people in the apologetic community by myself. I would friend them on Facebook, and let the games begin. That's when I was in that word like this, like the word was like in my face all day. And I'm going toe to toe. I'm sending scripture after scripture after scripture. I was queen of, oh, let's go here. Oh, let's go. I mean, it was one guy. He has a big YouTube platform and we me and him were Facebook friends. Yep, he blocked me. I said, wow. That's when I didn't care. I would argue with anybody. I argued with a lot of people in the UA community. That's how I began to get to know some of them because that's why I was shocked. Berean didn't realize I was an Israelite because so many people he rocked with, I have argued with on Facebook. Then I was a part of all those different, when you first find out who you are, you join 1,001 Facebook groups.
Right.
Hebrews eating right, Hebrews walking down the street, trucking in Hebrews, Hebrews in the Bible, Hebrews that eat spaghetti, Hebrews that don't eat spaghetti. You just be a part of you be a part of so many, you just be like, and what's so funny is every single time I would argue with somebody, and I'm glad Yacoba on here, I would go find a video from Yacoba and paste it in the chat and say, watch this. I was one of those. I was like off the chain. They was sick of me. But and then I started arguing with the people that were radicals. Like the people on the radical side, I was a harlot. I was it was ridiculous because you ain't supposed to argue with a man, but you're not making any sense. I don't believe you. I'm not going to deal with that. Then dealing with listening to Darby, it was just a process. It was a process that I had to go through that I needed to go through by myself. Then once I began to say, okay, now I understand what this means. I'm better now. I'm not all over the place. I'm not, let me leave a lot of these Facebook groups and let me just walk on my own. And that's when I started really, really, really calming down a lot because the Most High had to pull me back and say, wait, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're arguing with folks all the time. It got to the point that I was just arguing just to be arguing with people. Like if you were UA, I'm arguing with you. If you say I'm arguing with you. I probably ran across Blacktastic and he probably don't remember me because I was in some of those chats. I meant you was finna hear because one of his friends back in the day when he was a part of UA community, me and him argued all of the time. Julius used to hate to see me make a comment in his comment section. I meant I'm finna you Israel and you finna listen to me. But I had to learn that everybody is not ready for that, and I had to walk away and be at peace with it. But 4 years ago, I meant I'm finna join these UA communities in these chats. I'm finna wreak havoc. And I had to calm down. It was another guy. Like I said, I was so, and I ain't gonna change. I meant what I said to him, and I'm not gonna change it. He had to block me, and he has a fairly decent YouTube group. He's not really in the limelight with him. That's why I'm not gonna call his name out. I'm gonna be nice to him. But yeah, I meant you finna get this work. That's when I was really bad. Like, yeah. So the most I had to reel me back. Yeah, that was not ISUBK. So that said Sister E was ISUBK. No, that was funny. But I had to lead it.
You was EUSPK.
I was eat spaghetti with the Hebrew community Facebook group I'm just joking. Man, it was off the chain. Y'all remember that back in the day? It'd be about 1,000 Facebook groups you could join. You'd be in so many Hebrew Facebook groups, you just be like, yep. But I also got to see the bad side of it where people had started walking away from the faith altogether. It was one young lady that I used to talk to and I lost touch with her. But me and her used to talk on the phone off and on, and she was a part of the Hebrew community, and she went from being Hebrew Christ to Torah only to there is no Bible. And that was the sad side about it. So, and I haven't talked to her since, but she is now at a point. I think last time I talked to her, this was some years back. This was like 3-4 years back. She said that there is no God, So that was the sad part. So What's up, Yakoba? Yakoba is in the house.
Hey, Sister E, Sister Shonda, Blacktastic, Pastor Kirkland, how you doing? Can y'all
Man,
hear me?
doing great. Doing great.
Hey, salam, my
Hey,
brother.
Yeah. Yeah, good to
How you
see you.
doing, man? I still ain't got my Popeyes, man, but I'm planning on getting some tomorrow. I don't care what happened.
Look,
Me
I'm
and
with you.
They
Popeyes
don't
got a
even
date
have no
tomorrow.
Popeyes here. At least you could get some Popeyes.
And you know, I did a little research and I didn't see any pork in that grease, so somebody lied to me.
They wanted more chicken for themselves.
That's what it is. After that chicken sandwich fiasco, I think everybody was like, "It's all mine."
Truth be told, that chicken sandwich look good though.
Yeah, that chicken was
I ain't gonna
bomb.
lie, it was good.
I never ate it. I was like, I
You live
got
in the island,
scared.
Sister Shonda. You live in the island. You
No,
you
no,
can't get no
man, look.
Popeyes no more.
I can't, but I was scared when I was in Florida. I was like, I don't know, it might turn everybody into zombies the way everybody acting over it. It's like, people just killing one another over that thing. I was like, I'm gonna leave that alone.
That is true.
Jacob, was that the chicken flu episode from the Boondocks?
Yes.
What they say? Everybody had that in moment.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
y'all take Popeyes. My husband gonna disown me and divorce me. So y'all don't bet not nobody better say nothing about don't eat no Popeyes.
Why he like Popeyes?
Ooh wee. Yes.
That's man food. We'll eat that. We'll eat that chicken every day. Gain
Yes.
10 pounds while we at it though.
Hey, but why they had to change the original recipe on the biscuits though? Y'all remember it used to have like little.
Cause
Y'all
that's not
said
my
the
mama
rest
baby
of
butter
it?
biscuits.
But come on, Mark. I'm on my mama biscuit.
I want my mama baby butter biscuit.
Oh my goodness.
See, we talk about food again. Now I'm about to have to get a snack.
There she goes. She going to get a snack. You know what, John? You know what? I'm so bothered about you because you can eat snacks in the middle of the night and I can't. The most I get is tea.
Ooh wee.
Well,
Right.
Sister E is not a party without the food.
And I love food so much. Food is good. It blesses you.
I can
Chicken
use some
blesses
tea. I can use some
huh?
tea right now, some coffee.
I hit my 50-pound weight loss mark, y'all. I can't go back. So don't y'all stop
All
talking.
right.
Please stop talking about food. Lord have mercy.
Right.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Y'all gonna start seeing me on Facebook with all them body poses.
You
You'll be coming on Instagram model.
I was just gonna say that.
So we won't bring up steak and pizza and Popeyes
Oh, you so
and
wrong.
churches.
Well, I guess I go give me this premiere. Oh, I'm in the hotel. Oh well, I guess I gotta give me a protein shake here real soon. Then thanks, Jacoba.
You can do it, sis. Pass that test. Go ahead.
Right.
And your Jacob gonna lick his fingers after he eat that Popeyes. He's sucking on.
Yep, good.
man, that Popeyes is real good. I love Popeyes. Man. Oh, and I'm like, because Renice got me on this. I'm on this similar to what Renice is on, like it's a lot of protein. The only way I can eat Popeyes is if it's baked right now. So
Well, I haven't eaten any meat at all today. I've had an all vegan day, and tomorrow I'm gonna celebrate 24 hours of no meat. With Popeyes. I will reward myself.
Baby steps. Just baby steps.
Baby steps.
Y'all blame Jacoba because if he had never said it on one of his bro lives, I would not still be thinking about it.
But guess what? I haven't eaten meat in 2 days. I'm doing good.
See, you doing good, man. We made it, brother. We made it.
If I be all y'all, I haven't eaten meat in 3 hours. Chicken wings is the bomb.
That's a mess. That's a mess, Shonda. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. You just depressed me.
Yeah, Rochelle says she's done 2 months meat free. That's amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. You know, I did a year plant based, and I'm thinking, now I don't know if I'll ever go back to just plant based, you know, but I've modified my diet a lot, and I'm serious. Since we've had all these conversations and things, and Eve was something that you said a few weeks ago when you were talking about how that you know, just look. I've started studying in more detail the science behind the dietary laws in Scripture, you know, for health purposes. Because I've always said, and I believe that I said the Most High is the greatest scientist, and true science lines up with the word of the Most High. And so I just been studying what's the science behind the dietary laws, you know, why he gave what he gave to Israel, you know, and just looking at it from, like I said, not from a religious perspective, but from a health perspective and a scientific perspective. Because, like I said, I'll also say that the Most High is as practical as he is spiritual. So I want to understand what were the practical reasons behind why he told us not to do and eat certain things, or why he told ancient Israel, you know, our forefathers not to do certain things. Was it regional, or was it, you know, other things that went into, you know, into consideration? And the information I've come up with so far, you know, it's been pretty interesting, but it's amazing, and like I said, how wise the Most High is, because modern day science now, a lot of stuff they put out, they actually agree with that diet that was given to Israel, and then even learning how they spaced out their meals and how they ate and things of this sort. My godfather used to say this. Well, he still says it. He's still kicking. He says, "I eat to live. I don't live to eat." And I said, "Well, you got the victory that I don't, because I love eating." But anyway, you know, I took to heart what he said, though, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, just gain more understanding, you know, in these things, you know, and so I'm approaching it from a different perspective, a different angle.
You know, it's interesting you said that, because I noticed with the Africans, they don't mix milk and meat. I mean, we don't either, really. But, you know, the fact that whole concept is there, I haven't studied it, but is that biblical, Black Test?
You know what? I'll be honest with you, I can't answer that right now, but I'll definitely find out, and we can learn together, man. What you learn, you let me know, and what I learn, I'll share with you, and we can share with the people. You know, because I know there's some things in the scriptures that talk about not mixing certain things together, you know, but that particular issue, though, as far as mixing the milk with the meat, I have to go back and look at that, because I can't recall anything right now to mind. But I definitely need to look at that again.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. I guess with the diet thing, my thing was this. I said it's something about pork. That was my biggest question. What is it about this animal that is specifically called out in the Bible to say don't eat? And everyone's like, oh, it's not a salvation thing. And I'm sitting here saying, being honest, the only thing that we need to look at for our salvation, only person we need to look for as for salvation is Christ. But it does not take away for a reason why it says do not eat that filthy animal. And when you look at the animal itself, it holds disease. It does not have sweat glands. Sweat glands allows toxins to come out of your body. Whatever a pig takes in, it keeps it. And I was like, and I'm thinking it does. My daughter told me they don't have sweat glands. And I was like, wow. So whatever toxic item or disease or whatever it takes in, it stays in their system. Also, that's the only animal I think that you can eat and catch diseases from. I don't think you can do that with chickens, But they said the bird flu. But even with the bird flu, I thought it, from what I've heard and when I did some research, it actually came from a pig. A bird gave a pig a disease and somebody ate it. Because I think they said human to bird can't catch diseases. And I might be wrong, but from human to bird, you can't catch a disease as far as eating it, but you can from a pig. And I'm gonna have to double check that. But I saw that on a documentary and I was like, wow. But yeah, pigs do not have sweat glands. And then also pigs are meant to be trash eaters. So Blacktastic said something to me a while back about it throws the people are literally throwing the ecosystem off because you got catfish eats the trash in the sea, you got pigs eating the trash in the earth, and taking in certain things we can't take, and it's just like, wow. So I think it's a lot to it that meets the eye. Understand that we had to eat that diet. Our people had to eat that diet because that's all they had then. And I know you did a teaching on that, Blacktastic, here recently, reading the slave narratives. That's all. Either they ate the pig or they were gonna starve to death. But we're not in that time anymore. So when people condemn us and say, I have the liberty to eat whatever I want, well, you have the liberty to have high blood pressure. So when you have high blood pressure, don't be running in front of the altar saying, heal me. How you going to say heal me and you eating the very thing that potentially could have triggered that high blood pressure? You steadily saying, I need a healing, but steadily shoveling chitlins up your mouth. Come on now. So, but then, I say, well, you're taking my liberty. Ain't nobody taking your liberty. We just want you to live a long, blessed life.
Yeah,
So
you're right about that for sure. I'm sorry if y'all hear my little one in the background. That's why I cut my camera off. But
that's fine.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I definitely feel you where you're coming from. Gut health is brain health, and dealing with being a caretaker to my mother-in-law who had early onset dementia, I learned a lot about nutrition and how it ties into our brain and just the clarity of our brain. And so I was actually vegetarian for about 6 months. And I took her off of meat completely for a while, and that seemed to slow down the processes of the inflammation that had gathered in her brain that was making her brain so cloudy. But I'm telling you, it's like, when the Most High, when He put in His Word certain things, He did it because He knew what He made in the earth. And, I know we joke about, just eating kind of, crazy and wacky and everything. But, I do think it's good. I think it's important for us to try to do better with our health. And I'm gardening now, so I'm
Wow.
enjoying, to eat what and my husband are taking care of out of the ground. So, it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. So I just say that, I don't think that you need to go overboard because some people can make it a cult. Like I know people that, it can get to a point where it's like they don't want to be around you. If you eat meat, everything becomes, oh, I'm vegan this, I'm vegan that, and I think you were talking about that earlier, Mr. Fantastic, on your live, talking about how people like, okay, if it bothers you, then don't do it in front of this other person. But don't don't hold over somebody's head in condemnation if they choose to eat, steak, or if they choose to eat chicken. Like you were like, oh, I'm a pescatarian, I only eat fish. Okay, well that's good for you,
Right.
but but I'm gonna enjoy this chicken right here, So it's like with all things, the same way with how we walk this walk out. It's like, yes, we know that we're Israel, and that's so important, but that doesn't mean we negate the rest of the word because we're Israel. No, as a matter of fact, it means it adds to our understanding of how we walk this word out. So it's like you just got to kind of be careful, when you get into the dietary, when you get into any aspect of your life. Moderation and balance is key. So, and let the Ruach lead you. Let the Ruach lead you, because some people be like, oh, we all are supposed to be vegans. But not everybody is equipped to be a vegan. Some people are dealing with anemia, like me. I struggled with anemia for a long time. And if I didn't have, that meat to add to that iron, I could just get into a place where I was freezing and and blacking out and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just you got to know what your body type is good, what's good to go in your body and what's not good to go into your body type.
And, you know, that's true because I was vegan for like 2 years, and I felt better. It healed, you know, whatever issues I had. But at the same time, over the long term, I could tell I was weaker, you know, so I went back to eating meat and I felt stronger. But I think sometimes, you know, maybe as part of a fast or whatever, we have to like give it up for a while. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely respect that. I'm actually gonna go, I'm gonna do a Mr. Black test, just that 24 hours. I'm gonna do that. Matter of fact, that's how they recommend veganism. They recommend, okay, like if you're gonna go into the process of it, don't just go cold turkey. Like do it
Right.
for one day, and then the next week do it for 2 days, and then by the end of 7 weeks you do that. And I didn't do that initially, but it might have made, made it easier. But you're right, Jacoba, when you talk about how it made me feel like initially I was feeling healthier, but then all of a sudden I start feeling weaker. And y'all know, I mean, I'm so thin, like if I turn aside, I might disappear. So I can't afford to lose but so much weight. So I'm just keeping it 100, so I got to be careful about.
Don't blow away, sis. Don't blow away. We're going to have to
I'm blowing away.
with a kite or a rock. Come on.
Oh,
I'm gone with the wind, y'all. I'm gone.
that is so funny. But I mean, I'm sorry.
So I did find one scripture that came to mind, and it says it's in Deuteronomy chapter 14:21. And I think this may have referred to what you were talking about. It says the last part of the verse says, "You should not boil a young goat in its mother's milk." So I think perhaps that stipulation came as a result of just the Most High. Basically, it's not cool to cook a baby in the milk of its own, mother or whatnot, because it obviously seems like they were using milk to, boil or cook meats and things of this sort. But that particular restriction seems to be more humane, than anything else, and not a blatant or across the board restriction of not being able to boil or use milk for cooking with meat. But these are interesting things. So the more we look into it, I guess the more we'll learn, about it. But I also have a similar experience to Jacoba. When I was doing the veganism for a year, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. Just y'all bear with me. The first month, man, I went to the bathroom so much. I'm telling you right now, when you go plant-based, Lord have mercy. You need to almost take a FMLA, like a family medical leave.
The cleansing.
Man. I mean, like, I would go to the bathroom and be like, more? Like, come on, I can't even do the rest of my day.
Down in my soul, deep down.
I'm telling you.
Ooh, purge me from the inside, Lord.
I was like, stuff coming out from 1974. This is my 2-year-old birthday stuff coming out of me. I mean, man.
Not 2-year-old birthday.
I
He got
can't
40 years of undigested foods.
I'm telling you, when you go clean like that, man, Lord have mercy.
I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm the song guru. Remember Hezekiah Walker? Won't he make you clean?
Won't he make you clean?
Inside. Won't he make you clean? No music. Won't he make you?
That theme song.
I'm gonna play that every time I talk to you. I'm gonna play that in the background.
Wait, I'm sorry. You got my last song.
Just think about that song.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's crazy.
Won't he make you?
Come on.
Man. Woo.
Oh.
Give me a testament organs are showing up playing too.
Wait, from the inside, all I want is you.
Man.
I'm sorry. As you were. I'm sorry.
But y'all the best. Release the best of my train. else got something to say?
Give me. Please
Come on, you cold, bail me out, man.
listen.
He over there passing out laughing. He had
Say anything.
I can bring you back to the milk and the meat.
He ain't no help either.
Come on, dairy products. Come on, dairy purge.
But it is interesting because I was just reading that we see the limber has all these quote unquote Jewish traditions, circumcision, don't eat pork, mixing milk and meat. We got all these traditions, but we're not the people. I'm just saying, where did all these traditions come from? That's what I want to know. And traditions that the Ish people don't have, they have. That's written in the book.
Exactly. Because I know a bunch of them probably do boil. Think about the humane thing. You taking a calf and boiling it in its own mother's milk. You just took that calf from that. God even cared about the animals. The Most High cares about the animals too. But I experienced where Yacoba, the first 8 months I felt really strong, lost a lot of weight, didn't feel sluggish and things. But towards the last few months, I noticed that I wasn't as strong as I probably felt like I normally would be. So I did go back to eating meat. And I'm going to tell you something. It didn't take a lot of meat, but just a little meat. It did make me feel a little bit more energetic. So I think, too, it has to do with just like what Ashana said earlier and what you were saying about being balanced, and how we approach our diet. So, I'm thinking about maybe in the future I become more pescatarian, with a lot of fish, but I think I'm probably going to be more of a hybrid plant-based diet where I modify in terms of limit how many days a week I may eat meat and how many meals, I may eat meat, and then also how I cook and prepare my food. And that's why, like I said, I'm going to, for my personal, benefit, I'm going to really study the science, the practicality behind the dietary laws. Because one thing I've always wanted to do that I still haven't done is I want to make the Ezekiel bread. I want to actually bake my own loaf, and hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Oh, wow. I guess, and then you got to also look at the phrase, and it is true, you are what you eat. You pretty much, you got to be careful of what you eat because you begin to become what you eat. If you have a bad diet, you're going to pretty much feel bad all the time. If you have a decent diet, you're going to feel pretty good. I mean, I think it's a mental thing, with Daniel. He told Daniel, fast, don't eat anything of the king's table. And if you look at what was on the table, it was a lot of things. Everything on there was just not what you were supposed to eat. If it's that serious to the point that Daniel had to fast to seek the most, part of seeking the Most High, it tells you something about the diet and how it connects to the Most High. But that's funny, Blacktastic. I bet you won't do that no more.
Well, I will be more measured in how I go about doing it. It won't be no all at once thing like Ashanda said. I learned a valuable lesson from that weight loss was a little bit too speedy.
Well, I tell you what. If they push this vaccine thing for the grocery stores, we all gonna be there. We all gonna be eating beans and rice.
Man,
I'm telling you.
The great physician Hippocrates said, "Let food be your medicine, and let medicine be thy food." And I think, it's the change in our diet. The Most High. You think about how many people were sick probably when they had a balanced diet. Probably not very many people had to visit the doctor except for regular checkups. So eventually, because science is man-made, well, man-made science, put it that way. It's always got the failure built within it. So at some point, it's gonna fail.
Yep. Yeah, my diet. I guess my whole life. The good thing is, my entire life, I've always kind of had to watch what I was eating, because back in the day when I was younger and was teenager in my 20s, Thank you, Aerospike. I want to make sure to tell everybody thank you for your super chats. If I forgot, if I missed you, I'm so sorry, but thanks everyone. Um, but with my diet, I always had to be careful when I used to dance when I was in high school and junior high and even in my 20s because I could I was one of those that could carry weight. I had to always watch it because if anybody knows anything about dancing, you have to stay a certain size. And it was always hard for me to stay that size because of genetics. I've never been a big girl, no. It's always been like I've always had a thicker build. So because of that, when I used to dance, I used to have to go on like strict diets, like and shed weight. And then when I come off of it and we're done with the dance season, guess what? I'm going back to my eating habits and I'll pick up that weight. Every year was just up, down, up, down. And I had to stop doing that. But because of that, it's not hard for me to stop eating bad if I have to be able to do what I need to do to share weight. Like for instance, I even in my old age is like it's not that hard. I did this last week. I did the high protein like Pastor Anise did, and in a week I lost like 9 pounds. Like 1 week, I was like 9 pounds. Now I don't know about this week. I probably lost about 4, but but I lost like 9 pounds. And if I can,
That's
I said,
great.
if I do this every week, I could probably lose about 30 pounds. Do I want to do it that way? No. But it's just a matter of a mind game with me with the diet thing. If I make a decision to say, yep, I need to shed it, I can shed it. But it's a mind. But once my mind's made up, it's like no changing. Um, but when I want to enjoy food, I'm going to enjoy food. But like I said, when I was young, I used to have to always watch what I ate because whereas most of the girls they have a tendency to have a slender build. I always had a medium frame, a medium kind of like frame, but I could get it down. But once I got it down, um you understand why they want you to get it down because you have to do a lot of leaps and jumps, and when you do that and you carrying weight, it's hard to do. I had carried a little more weight than normal and was trying to do this leap and landed on my knee wrong and dislocated it. And you can't hurt yourself. Some of it has to do with some people think, oh, it's the appearance. No, it's more than that. Some of it has to do with flexibility, having the ability, like you said, to carry, lump. You have to jump. And then if you got to do all that jumping and you got a lot of weight, that's hard on your knees and your legs, and it's hard to do sometimes. So, but that was in my younger days. That was way before Madison, everything. But weight has always been something like we have to, manage. But it's all about the eating. Like I've never had a problem about not eating. Like the pork thing, when everybody's like cut pork, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I really don't eat pork anyway. The only thing that was hard for me is my morning bacon. That was hard. I'm gonna be honest, Saints. That bacon, I was like, so that means I got to give up bacon. And in most cases, when you are on certain diets, they will tell you to eat bacon in the morning because it has a lot of protein. So now when I'm doing high protein, I have to look for things like turkey bacon, turkey sausage, all that to be able to eat it. But it
But
has
there's
so
beef
much.
bacon now, and it's delicious.
I don't like beef bacon.
What?
Yep,
Beef
beef
bacon?
That's
bacon.
I have had beef bacon. I don't like it. Maybe I got the wrong
You
kind.
got the wrong one. You got to get Wilshire's.
I'll check that
yes.
out.
Beef bacon? I haven't seen that yet.
Ye
Yeah, go
na
to
na.
Whole Foods.
What do you say, Bernice?
Ye na na.
I can't stand you,
Igbo.
Renee.
Igbo. Igbo.
See,
I mean, you
this kind of bacon make you happy, huh?
you don't have me going up to Whole Foods
You
fast.
turkey weight. That beef bacon ain't no joke.
It
Maybe I
ain't no
have.
joke.
I'm gonna have to get it then because I must have some.
It's a true substitute for pork. I mean, it's that good.
Really?
I'm
I
trying.
actually had some tofu bacon,
Ugh.
and all right, y'all, don't judge me. Don't judge. Don't how folks say, don't judge. I had some tofu bacon. All right, it wasn't that bad, and I actually because I wanted a bacon cheeseburger. So I knew I wasn't gonna get no pork bacon, So I tried it. You know, I was at the farmers market here in DeKalb County in Atlanta, and they got a ton of like alternative vegan and meat alternatives. So I tried it, but I will say this: I don't recommend eating it by itself like regular bacon. Hide it in something.
You got to hide it. I don't want it.
Like a bacon cheeseburger, and then tell yourself, "This is bacon."
I can't with you. You and vegan ain't working out. I'm gonna need you to just go ahead and get that life.
Hey, I'm trying. But look, I have learned how to season tofu right though. I used to hate tofu, but I've learned how to season it to where it actually tastes good. And a lot of times when I go out to restaurants, if they have a tofu alternative, I'll get the tofu in place of the meat. But I don't eat a lot of tofu because overindulgence in anything can be bad for you. And like I said, I'm still studying up on all of these different things. But and then there's other meat substitutes that I'm trying as well. Like one of the things I want to try is the. Has anybody tried the what's that? The spaghetti squash or whatever it is that looks like spaghetti when you open it up? Has anybody tried that?
No, I have not tried that. That's blasphemy.
I tried to make that one time.
That's blasphemy.
It is. It was horrible.
It was bad. It was that bad. Wow.
And the people that do that type of stuff, they on YouTube, they be trying to make it look like, oh, this is so good. And when you cook it, you be like, I want your plate because mine don't taste like that. But you know what? My daughter made something. I'm sorry. She made some.
I like the cauliflower rice. Have y'all tried that?
I haven't tried that.
I've had that. That is good.
It's the texture for what they say for me. It's the texture for me.
I gotta try that.
It's good. But it's the texture.
John said he like it. I can't. Oh, I just can't.
Yo, John Williams says spaghetti squash is on point. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'll try anything once. Now I had pizza with a cauliflower crust. Man, that thing was off the chain.
It was. I've had that before.
That was the bomb.
Yeah.
But I agree with Pastor Renise. It's the texture because the spaghetti squash, it's not bad, but it just don't, you're just not feeling it.
Yeah. But you know what? My daughter made something that was, y'all gonna say is blasphemous, especially if you're from New Orleans. But she made a vegan gumbo. It was.
That's anathema.
She got to be sat down for 30 days.
But I'm gonna tell
she got to be silenced.
I'm gonna tell you that too. But it was good though. I'm gonna tell y'all, it was so good to the point. Because at first I was like vegan gumbo, and she said I made it. And when she made it, it was so good that it threw me off. I ate vegan gumbo for about a good week. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Y'all
let me put in vegan gumbo.
Right.
The bishop of gumbo, Jacoba himself, in the sea of Louisiana said that's anathema. We go with that. Okay.
My sister made vegan gumbo. It's alright. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. It's alright.
Hey,
gumbo.
Hey, look, a lady offered me at the one of the bakeries. She said, try this fat-free cheesecake. And I told her, I said, that sounds like the devil.
Right.
See, next thing you know, we're going to start putting raisins in the potato salad.
See?
Oh. Come on, man.
See?
Not invited to the cookout. No more.
That's right. And no fat-free cheesecakes, sweet potato pies, and none of that. If it's fat-free, that means I pay for the pie and the fat came for free.
Yeah.
That's all it means. I want all the good stuff that make it good in my stuff.
That is horrible. That is, I just can't. This whole thing with this vegan, all this soy is not good, but some people are for it. There's some people for it, but I will say that vegan gumbo was good though. I gave her props for it. I said at first I was a little sketchy about it, but when she got done and she worked hard because she said, I'm gonna learn how to cook this. I said, okay. I had left to go get my hair fixed, came back, and she was like, it's ready. And I ate it and I was like, oh, I'm so scared. But that's my baby. Man, when I took that first bite, I said, this is a little fat right here. And man, I ate that for about a good week.
Did you say you went to go get your hair fixed?
Done. I'm country. Don't do me. Don't do me. I'm from the deep south. Did you just come from my words? See, you know what the same face trying to throw out that I'm country. Yes, I am. I'm country than a hog mog sandwich. Don't do me. Don't do me.
That's all right. Go on with your country self. You be all right.
I'm country. I'm good country. Second Exodus country too. Don't sit there. Don't you be sitting there because you from the same city I'm from. Well,
Karen said he gonna get the synth meat.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at
the synthetic meat.
Well, they offer that.
Have y'all seen that movie? What is it called? Snowpiercer. And they had a synthetic food and found out it was something. Have you ever seen Snowpiercer?
Yeah, about the train. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, you remember when they found out what was that in that gelatin stuff they was eating?
I'm probably missed that part because I got the movie in my list. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've seen most of it. I know it's a series now. What was in there? Was it Soylent Green? Was it people?
No, cockroaches.
Oh.
When I saw this movie, it was good though. What's so funny is it was like a New Year's Eve. I was at home and I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie. The movie was fire. It was good. Don't come for me, Renise. I said fire. But when they was eating this thing, and I was like, and I said, what is this? And they found out it was cockroaches. I said, so all these folks with this synthetic and weird stuff they eat, you better check and see what it is. That right there messed me up. Oh, you have to see it. It's called Snowpiercer. They have the series and then they have the movie.
Eating them cockroaches, man. Yep. I'm like green eggs and ham on cockroaches. I ain't eating them on a train, on a plane, on a boat, or a float. I ain't eating them at all. I'm just gonna be like, Lord, I give up the ghost. Receive my spirit. That's it.
Exactly.
You know cockroaches.
Oh my goodness. That's why I knew you didn't see the whole movie. You was like, what?
Yeah, no, I missed that part. I'm glad I did. Now I ain't gonna finish watching it. Snowpiercer coming off my list tonight.
Oh my goodness, somebody else saw it too because they talking about it. Yeah, that was somebody said cockroaches is protein, Mr. Blacktastic.
I'm right there with you, Mr. Blacktastic. I got to give up the ghosts. I can't mess around with no roaches.
Yeah, cockroaches on the menu. The second coming need to happen then.
So they already talking about locust burgers, right? And now they talking about synthetic meat. I'm like, what they got planned for us? I'm gonna have to pack my bag sooner than I thought.
Soylent Green, like somebody put in the comment section.
Man, I'm gonna raise chickens.
Right?
That's gonna be illegal. Watch.
Oh man,
we got a ton of chickens just running around here. I don't even understand it. I'm like, how y'all have all these chickens just running around here? But the chickens, boy, you gotta be careful about chickens. You gotta know how to raise them because they'll tear everything up.
You don't let no chicken run loose in the South because that chicken ain't gonna be no more.
Yeah, man, don't let no chickens run loose in Southern California. That chicken gonna be in a quinceañera or at a piñata party. I'm telling you, I know. That chicken gonna be in some tacos. Trust me. I know.
Oh my goodness! You know what? My daughter said the same thing in Hawaii. Chickens just be running around like they pets. I said, I ain't never heard of that before.
Yeah. Maybe somebody made a good point that John the Baptist and Elijah did eat locusts. And I do know that in Africa, they do eat certain things because some of those locusts grow pretty large, but that don't mean I want to eat it, praise God for them. But
Like they had a special anointing.
Yeah.
I don't have.
That was their testimony.
Look, I'm good on that one. Locust and honey. When I first saw that, I said, "This can't be for real." He had to been eating something else. Had to be.
Y'all didn't see my thing with the locusts. They got this locust fruit. He could have been eating fruit. Okay, you don't have to necessarily be eating bugs. They got locust trees.
Because I will say this. I know I talked about the roaches, but when I was in the military, I did a 30-day survival course that was mandatory for the unit that I was in the Marine Corps. They give you 7 days of rations. If you're good, you can probably stretch it out to about 10, maybe 11 days. After that, you got to find your own food, or you're going to be, out there having a rescue team looking for you. And so I did learn how to create utensils and things to hunt and kill. And then there are certain bugs and certain plants, just like Timon and Pumbaa was lifting up those rocks, grubs and other things like this. I'm going to tell you this, and this is one thing I do know, and this is, it made me think about when I was out there during that time. My father used to always tell me when I was growing up, I would say, man, I'm starving. He would be like, no, you're not starving. You hungry. You got choices in that kitchen. You just don't know. You got so many choices. You just don't know which one you want to eat. And because what you want to eat isn't in there, you sit up here thinking, I'm going to take you somewhere to get it. He said, go in there and make something to eat. And so, and he would show me pictures of people who were actually starving, and that's so I learned from what he taught me. And so then when I was in this survival training, one of the things I did learn was that when the body starts to get depleted of nutrients, water, and other things like this, and you're in an environment, I'm gonna tell you, your paradigm shifts. Your mind goes into survival mode and sends your body into that same mode. And the way you think about food and sustenance changes dramatically.
Wow.
And so I ate things during that time that I'm telling y'all, I would, sitting here now comfortably, in my home with, a refrigerator and the freezer and, things like this, I would, if unless I absolutely had to, I would never eat those things again. Now, I didn't eat no cockroaches. That might have been the end of I might have failed the course. But I did eat other things, and there are even certain tree barks and things that you can eat and cook and soften up, whatnot, to make mushy, almost like a meal. But you have to exercise every last one of your skills to really be able to make it through, that 30 days, because it's the hardest thing I've ever experienced in terms of testing my ability or my fortitude. And, you're out there and they didn't give us bullets. They gave us a rifle, but no bullets, because you just had to get used to carrying the weight and stuff like that. So you have to make stuff, little spears, little bow and arrow, whatever you have to make to learn how to get your food. But you're going to spend a lot of time probably eating a lot of the plant life and things and berries and stuff that you find. And one thing I also learned too about, especially us in the West, American diets in comparison to other people, man, Talisha, yeah, you're right. We eat too much meat in the Western Hemisphere. When you go to other countries, like places I've seen, they have the meat is the highlight of the meal because there's so little of it. And then everybody cuts sometimes a one big piece and split it up, but everybody got a bunch of vegetables on their plate. They're eating a lot of vegetables, lentils, and other things like that. So a lot of people, other places have high fiber diets and things of this sort that because we got so much convenience. We eat a lot of times what just tastes good and not what is good for us. But like I said, that survival situation, I see how people in other countries sometimes when there's more scarcity of food, why they don't have certain scruples about what they eat. And sometimes they may eat things that would be considered unclean. But I believe the Most High has grace for them, just like he had for our enslaved ancestors who were forced to eat things that they didn't probably want to eat or that they had no other choice. But Your mentality will change when true hunger pains and thirst pains and other things hit you. It changes a lot.
So I guess that's why the Asians eat a lot of unclean food because the history of poverty, I guess.
That's an interesting thought. I'm not sure if it's more of the poverty or as much of their culture. Because they eat dog meat too. And I'm gonna tell you, man, when I was in the military, brother, you know how we see stray dogs around here bold. They just be walking up in people's yard, eating, barking. Dogs in Asia be coming out like they be trying not to be seen.
And they eat mice.
They on the menu.
They eat living like snakes and all kind of stuff. I'm like, it's just gross.
Yeah, they eat a lot of things in Asia, man. I think I don't know, it could be a combination of the poverty, but it also could have a lot to do with culture because they have, for instance, especially Chinese culture. And I've gotten in trouble for talking about the Chinese, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I hope I don't get you no strikes. Just have them block me out. But the Chinese, probably more than any of the other cultures, have a history of destroying ecosystems. And they ain't even always for food. It's for a lot of their superstitions, their medicines and things of this sort. This is why I don't know if it was Kenya or somebody just kicked the Chinese out of their country because they were poaching animals in Africa. So one of the I don't know if it was Rwanda, it was somebody, they just kicked it. They basically told the Chinese, y'all got to go. Because they've been poaching so many animals and not for food. So when you're not using the animal for a food resource, you're wasting it. Just like with the shark fin soup thing. The Chinese and the Japanese too, but the Chinese in larger measure will fish for the sharks, cut the fins off, and then drop the whole shark back into the ocean. And this is something that's been going on for a long time. And so they, their culture does a lot of destroying of the ecosystem, which is why China is trying to get into Africa. They got ghost cities in China where they start building cities and nobody lives there because the land can't sustain them. Number one, because they drained so many of their own natural resources. And you would think for a land as big as China, they would have more. But China depletes a lot of their own ecosystem or messes up their own environment, and so they look for other places to go to mine the resources of those nations.
Did you hear what they're doing in Gambia?
No, what's going on?
They're taking those people's farmland from them and giving it to the Chinese.
See, and China has a policy called debt diplomacy, where they tell an African nation or another Black South Pacific nation that we'll give you this to help build up your infrastructure, but it's kind of like a loan. So you owe us X amount of dollars, and then we'll use this resource or particular thing in your country as collateral in case you default on the loan, and then we'll own this for X amount of time. Not only did they do it to these other countries, they did it to Australia as well. And some of the other countries, what they've started doing, because Australia is fighting back, is they just start defaulting on the loans and telling China, we're not paying y'all. Because China is using their countries to spy, set up other types of things. They're doing a lot of dishonest things. And so they're being caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And hopefully more of the African nations start waking up and realizing these people, that are coming into our country, and they're offering things that we can build ourselves. We don't need them. They need us. China don't want Africa. They want Chifrica. They want to turn Africa into China because they didn't war China out.
If they let them, though, that's the thing. It's like, you got so many corrupt leaders. And, I think there's still, an awakening that's happening among the Israelites there, but you still have so many crooked politicians, and you do still have a lot of poverty there. So, and you have a lot of misinformation still. Mm-hmm. So, we ourselves, I know for me, I'm just, on the tip of learning about the continent as a whole, because I've only learned it from the position of, the Eurocentric media for a long time. But like what happened the other day, for example, when I'm not sure what country it was in, but they had that gold that they found in that mountain, and automatically was like, why did you put this on social media? Because the minute you put it on here, then what's going to happen? The government is going to get involved, and next thing you know, you guys aren't going to be able to build any of your own wealth. And sure enough, they blocked off that mountain, and they said they can't mine there anymore. So it's like it's a constant struggle because you have people that they don't want to see the betterment of their own people. They'd rather see their own pockets filled and they go along with the agenda. And I think we have to be mindful of that because, you know, especially the time that we're in, we want to be regathered and we believe in the Most High that He's going to take us into the continent, someplace into the continent. But there's still going to be so many countries within the continent that are doing the bidding of Satan. They're going along with the New World Order agenda. So we have to be mindful of that. There was as a matter of fact, one of the leaders there, I can't remember what position she holds. She holds a high position. She's an older, about 50 or 60-year-old African woman, and I was just reading in the article the other day where she's pushing vaccines on the continent like crazy. And she knows, I mean, she's there. She knows the devastation of what it's done to so many women, so many children there, but she's pushing it because she's going along with the agenda. So it's like on one end, you get black representation, you're excited, like, okay, yeah, we're finally going to move ahead. But then if they're still holding on to the agenda of the globalists, that they're holding on to the agenda of white supremacy, then they're a double threat because you don't know. They can sit there and pretend like they actually care about what's happening to us, and at the end of the day, they really don't. So we just really need to just be discerning about just who to trust really when we deal with people on the continent. And I mean, we got trust issues here, period. But still, it's so much crookedness, and that's why we need the ruach. Because I'm telling you, it's just like so many people they're frenemies. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough situation with China, man. It's really sad what they're doing in Africa. It really is.
Yeah, I think only the Most High can save us from all of this, and because like Magafuli, he disappeared. Some say he got the Rona. Um, some say he's in hiding. I mean, be honest with you. I mean, we don't know, but we do know since he opposed the New World Order that he's in danger, which is why we need to pray for him. But this whole situation is going to reveal a lot of Judas type people, and only those who are truly with the Most High are going to be left standing.
I mean, because we see the Judases here. The Judases here are real. And I said this. I said coming into my the awakening, and they try to deem it as if it is a bad thing to say. What awakening? The awakening of who we are, and what the Most High has called us to be. But I haven't argued with anybody but people that look like me, and it's almost like that slave mentality of we got it good over here, don't make no trouble. And I'll say, I don't care what anybody thinks of me at the period, but it's a slave mentality to me. It's like we got it good over here, and you messing stuff up for us, and we just sitting here like, what? That's the mentality. It's like you rocking the boat. Get back to work. Business as usual. Boss don't like what you're saying, so stop. And it's
You
like,
know,
say what I want to say.
right. Truth Unedited just did a really good video about that, about the house slave and how the
Mhm.
house slave mentality never stopped. And it just went through to, these to the boule, and through these fraternities and stuff. I mean, it was really deep the way he covered it. But that mentality has never ended. And I mean, we even see that. I mean, we see that in the word. We see it in and when you had was it Sanballat and Tobias? No, that wasn't them. But when the children of Israel were in the wilderness and Moses went up to the mountain, and you had the ones that were trying to do the golden calf and going to Aaron, they had always been opposing Moses. They stayed opposing Moses. And those were essentially what we have here. We have this Judas mentality, like, no, you took us out of what we had in Egypt because they were living a little bit larger than the other slaves. So they kept trying to draw them back and turn them away from their own freedom. So that's why the Most High said, I got to open up the earth just to get rid of them. It's like, yeah, you don't want to see them, go down. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be a turncoat, at the end of the day, I just think he wants his people to be on. He wants the people to be on his side. Either you're going to be on his side, or you're going to be swallowed up.
Yep, those will be the ones that's pulling us. If whatever happens, they'll be the ones that's saying, "No, don't go. It's good over here." And it's like, really, you got an opportunity to have your own, and you still afraid. You want to still hold on to. It's just like the Matrix. The Matrix, that one scene that sticks out to me when he was eating that steak, and I think Black Plastic said it a couple of days ago as well, because we was talking about it. He said, even though I don't know it's a steak, I'm gonna eat it. And I think he said, like, as long as it tastes like a steak, I'm good. In so many words, and I'm paraphrasing. That's the mindset. He's like, I know the system is not good for me, but as long as it's feeding me good things, I'm gonna think that it's good.
And he was willing to sell out everybody else just to get what he wanted. The interesting thing, is that every slave rebellion that failed because another slave snitched. They told. The only slave rebellion that was successful was John Horse, and they had to flee to Mexico in order to get away. But every other slave rebellion was because another slave told, what was going to happen, because they were trying to get the payoff. They were trying to get the big piece of chicken. They were trying to move from the field into the house, or whatever the case may be. And that's a issue, that persists even today. Like, when I get off here with you all, I'm gonna try to finish watching Judas and the Black Messiah, my dad, used to tell me when he was part of the Black Panthers and he was in the whole Black Power movement. He told me back, a long time ago, he said, son, he said, every one of our movements has been infiltrated, and they collapse us from within. He said, the pressure from outside, if we maintain our unity, we can withstand it. He said, but the problem is they come in and they examine and watch us. They build a profile, and then they exploit isms and divisions among us, and they start using counterintelligence. Like, for instance, they may send, Ashonda a letter that makes it look like it's from me, and then now she turned against me, and we all in it, like we all in this picture board right here, right? This is how they get us. So they turn her against me, and so then, she start coming at me. I tell Yacoba about it. So now he start going against her on my behalf. She tell you about it. Now you start going against Yacoba about it. And we still in this same picture board. But under the surface, because we ain't worked it out amongst ourselves to find out what's what, they just keep sending us misdirection. And the next thing I get a letter saying, well, Yacoba then turned on you. And then you get a letter saying, well, now Shonda is against you. And they keep us in this thing. It seemed like that was one of the things, even Malcolm X came to the realization when he made the statement. He said, Elijah Muhammad is not the one doing all of this stuff to me. But by then, the situation had been so far gone, it couldn't be reeled back in, because it had went beyond the leaders down to the followers. And that, ended up resulting in the assassination of Malcolm. But this has happened over a time period. My father was one of the ministers in the state of Illinois under Fred Hampton. My father passed away in 1998. He vividly remembered 1969, because it was a horrible year for the Black Panther Party. You had Bunchy being killed or assassinated in Los Angeles, and in the same year, Fred Hampton was killed. And these were two of the up and coming leaders that probably would have even succeeded and surpassed Huey and Bobby in terms of what direction the Black Panther Party was going in. And Bunchy and John, who were killed out in California, were killed by another group of black men, from who is believed to be from what's called the US organization under Ron Karenga, who is the one who started Kwanzaa. And so, and then out of all of that division, that's when the Crips and Bloods really take off. And so the government, the COINTEL program, was always meant to turn us against each other the same way that Balaam and Balak said, Balaam said, I can't curse Israel, but I'm gonna get them to curse themselves.
Right.
And he started infiltrating them. And it's the same system that's set up against us today. And my dad always said, communication is the key. If you got differences with each other, work it out with each other. So when you come out, you pose a common front against a common enemy. You don't allow those things to fester and never get them under control, because then your enemy comes in amongst you and he exploits it.
You know what that sounds like, right?
I was about to say that, Sister E. You know what that sound like? What was happening with UA?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I mean, those same tactics were being used against Pastor Kelly and Pastor Brown, trying to make the community turn against them. I'm like, we could recognize, the tactics that were being used, and I'm not playing that game. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit obvious. And see, the other thing is, if you follow the scriptural standards, it doesn't work. You see?
And that's it. They started with, E. Or, E, you don't see that, you can't answer that question. And then they showing Majors and showing his pictures and getting us to argue and getting us to, and the crazy thing is, because they would always try in some cases to put me in fear. Like, because when I used to be on Berean's channel, I used to be in fear of watching what I say, because I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm different. But I was isolating myself in the process. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to isolate yourself. You're a good Israelite. You're not supposed to do it. And I'm like, okay.
Exactly.
But that was my nature. And because back in the day, Jacoba would be messaging me on Facebook like, sis, what are you saying? And he would check me sometimes. And I would just be like, well, it's not that and you can see a difference when I shifted after what happened between me and Berean. It was like, the first time that it happened, when I got into it with Cherry and G-Man, and I shifted, but even when I shifted, I still had isolated myself, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm in the big bad Israelite world, because I had, Israelites that I dealt with, like Teo and Pastor Kelly and Majors. That was pretty much my world, period. I didn't deal with them. And when I finally came to the realization that I don't care what these people think about me, I'm doing what the Most High told me to do. And I said something on a live. I said, the worst thing y'all could have did was cause that to happen. At least if I was on Berean's panel, you still had a little bit of control. No longer do y'all have control. I said, that's the worst thing y'all could have did. And after that, game, all bets off. I was like, I really don't care what y'all think. But back then, it was like, I even got a chance to meet Eric Mason twice. And when I first met him, he said, you know what, Sister E, I'm one of your biggest fans. And I was like, even though people said Sister E went hard, I still pulled back. And it wasn't the fear just for me, but it was the fear of the people that were on the panel at the time when I was doing Sunday Seminary. Because Ashonda used to be out there as well. She remembered. I didn't want to put them in a bad place. So I would pull back and hold back in a lot of cases. But the worst thing y'all could have did was make me stand on my own. Because now I talk about y'all and don't care. Because I don't care what y'all think about me at the end of the day. But that's what they would do. And they would make it seem like bit bad, these Israelites out here, you can't trust them. And I was still new in it, because I was coming out of being isolated and then going into a group still isolated. And I was already scared. I'm looking at everybody like, are they camps?
See, that's the other thing. The finessing that Berean was doing was at a high level, right? Oh, yeah. And so I was like, well, who's behind this guy? Because, I could see the maneuverings and the manipulations going on. I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. But then I'm watching this, right? I'm like, this, you know, like I say, COINTELPRO, you can never prove it, right? But one thing we know about the government, they're always going to have an infiltrator amongst us. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Any one of us could be a COINTELPRO plant, right? But I saw the maneuverings going on, and I said, this is high level sophistication manipulation here. When he would tell us he finessing, yeah, he was finessing. But
correct.
we don't know who was helping him finesse.
But we
Well,
saw
you-
who was helping.
Well, you know, one of the things about the Willie Lynch syndrome,
Uh-huh.
you know, is that at a certain point, you no longer have to actively sponsor the slaves to do your bidding because you have ingrained it in their sociology. So it's in the psychology and it's going to be passed on and they're going to do it to themselves. And so even if there's nobody behind anyone, the coldness about the thing is what they did to us, to our ancestors during slavery, still affects us today. And they don't even have to actively participate in terms of promoting it. It reminds me of this, of Dante's Inferno. When Satan was talking to one of the other characters, and she said, you know, you're doing this and doing that. And he said, I haven't made mankind do anything in a long time. He said, I just introduced the idea and man is taking it the rest of the way. He said, the earth is hell and man are its demons. I thought about that and I said, that's some deep psychology right there. To introduce a concept, for instance, like sin. Look how far mankind has taken that. But to introduce a concept or an idea to a people to hinder them, hold them back, and tear them down from within, and then step back and watch them take your idea or take that poison, basically, and distribute it to their own people.
Yep.
Without you having to make them do anything.
Yep.
And that's the real sinister part, you know, of this plot, which is how messed up we are. This is the PTSD, the post-traumatic slave disorder, you know, that we're seeing. You know, we still got the same struggle going on between Sambo and Uncle Tom. And yet Uncle Tom is getting the bad rap, and he's actually the one trying to help us by putting himself in harm's way. And Sambo is the real coon that's going around selling folks out and setting them up.
Yep. And you know what? Being on that panel, it was always, let's set her up to see her fall. We're going to ask you the same questions over and over and over again and make sure you say the same thing consistently. And I'm sitting here saying, why am I being put on the hot seat? I need to put y'all on the hot seat. And it was it was a mindset of, I was afraid of, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that. I got to make sure I say this. I got to watch everything come out of my mouth. I was more watchful of what came out of my mouth than I am now. Now I don't care. I'm like, y'all don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. I'm gonna say what I got to say. But back then it was like, I wonder, you know, how Jeff is gonna deal with it. How, you know, Father G, I don't want to put them in this predicament. And then when I would say something, like blatantly say it, you could see the expression on everybody's face on the screens, and I just be like, what did I say? Did I say something wrong? I was always checking myself. But it was a plan in my head to say, E, you got to represent the community and look like this. You gotta look like this. And I was like, I'm sorry.
You know, Sister E, if you notice though, it was always, if y'all condemn Kelly and Brown, we'll receive y'all. Y'all can come and hang with us, right? It's sort of like when I think I mentioned to you all before, when I was growing up in elementary school, you know, you had the popular kids and they were like, well, we like you and your brother. Y'all could come and hang with us, but the two guys y'all hanging with right over there, the nerds, that's, you know, I guess that's how they looked at them. They were our friends. They were like, y'all got to stop hanging with them. And we like, that's our friends. What you talking about? Right. And that's what they wanted us to do. They wanted us to abandon our friends. Right. And that's how the system does. Right. They'll move you up. We'll accept you so long as you get rid of them. right? And so now the whole system and the whole movement has been destroyed. But this is a God movement, so they can't stop it.
Correct. Because the thing is, they tried to cause us to fight and argue. If you notice, this last thing, they was trying to get us to argue, and none of us would argue. I mean, we have our moments where all of us don't see eye to eye. But again, we have those conversations where they argue on screen with each other. Like G-Con and argue with Faithful on the screen. I mean, they fight and argue amongst each other. And I'm just like, y'all are trying to bring that tension to us. Now, keep in mind, we do have our moments where none of us agree. But yet and still, we're learning how the Most High is showing us how to say, y'all can disagree, but this is how y'all need to disagree.
You know, I'll say that one of the things that I think is very important when we're putting ourselves in this public atmosphere is to remember, one thing is that we are accepted in the beloved. That's the first thing, okay? Because if you have the understanding that you're accepted in the beloved, everybody else can kick rocks with no socks. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, it's like you get to a point where, you know, it's not about position. It's not about putting your name out there. I've had so many people come to me with so many opportunities that I had to ask the Most High, okay, does this line up with the direction that you have for my life and the morals that you set before me? And if it didn't line up, I stayed away from it. I had a pastor who came to me one time because y'all know I was involved in the pro-life movement heavier back then. And he said, you know, have you heard of Candace Owens? And I said, well, yeah, I've heard of Candace Owens. He's like, you know, you could be a national speaker just like her. I said, no, I can't. I said, because me and her, we don't see eye to eye. And we might both agree that the preservation of life is important, but on so many fronts, I said, no, she makes excuses for the institution of white supremacy, where I call it out. And I told him just like that, because I had nothing to lose. You understand? When you down at the bottom, when you ain't had you at the lowest of the valley, there's nowhere else to fall. And so for me, you know, there was nothing you can offer me. And at the end of the day, when it comes to, you know, this idea of, you know, the UA and, oh, can I be friends? It's just like Jacobo was saying, like this popularity. Well, I've always been unpopular, so I really don't care. At the end of the day, I just don't care. You know, I don't care for. I met tons of celebrities. Don't care. You know, I've been abased and I've been abound. Don't care. When you have that attitude that you're totally, utterly abandoned, and the only thing and only one you care about more than anything in this life is the Most High, then it's very difficult for people to trap you in their schemes and their schisms, you know, because at the end of the day, even with church leadership, oh, we're going to raise you up to this level. Okay, so what? And then what?
Yep.
And you get, you know what I'm saying? You get to the point where you're just like, okay, only the real ones. Let me tell you something what I learned in life. The real ones are going to be there for you when you got nothing.
Correct.
And that's it.
And what's so crazy is when you said that, it just made me think about when everybody attacked me and they was getting ready to demonize me just here 2 years ago. They was getting ready to flat demonize me. They did not expect Jacoba, Tegu, and Dante to come out. They thought I was going to be by myself fighting. After that whole G-Man thing and that whole Cherry thing, they didn't expect for them. And when they came out fighting, that threw them off. And I remember when Jacoba did the video about attacking me, and then Dante did the video about attacking me, they didn't expect it. And that shows that when you're by yourself, don't think that the other person is by themselves, because there are people that are around. And then Blacktastic said, Duran such an interesting email that he got blocked. Said, if I see you, never mind. But he was like, you're not going to do it like that. And they thought that I was by myself. And I think you did a video as well, or somebody, Shonda, you did. Somebody said, so I think it was you too as well. And I was like, I didn't realize I had that much support from the community until I had to stand by myself. And they thought they was getting ready to come full-fledged at me and shut it down. And I saw it coming. And I remember when I talked to Taya, when I saw the video and I talked to Yakoba, that's when I realized there was a community there because they wanted to isolate. So
I got to know you on Berean.
I remember that.
My friend had told me about Berean, and then I got to know you, and I was like, that's a real one. I was like, she's real. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's like real recognize real. Yep. And so for me, it was just like, once the whole situation went down with Berean, I was really kind of like, my thing was is that I didn't want you to be hurt because I knew you were still, you know, connected, and you were kind of like, look, you know, I've been trying to build a relationship. So I didn't really say a whole lot, you know, but I told you privately, like, look, you know, you need me, I'm there. Yep. You know, and I'm going to make a public statement because I don't want to see them thinking that you're, like you said, by yourself. You're not by yourself. You know, none of us are by ourselves. The real ones are when you down at your lowest, they're going to be the ones that are there. And so at the end of the day, you know, with Berean, I watch people for two things, motivation and actions. Forget your words. Yep. Okay. What is your motivation behind what you're doing? And then your actions are going to show and they're going to follow. So when Berean had, when he was going on with Abu initially about the church pews, and like you said, that line of questioning over and over and over again, the same line. I said, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm going to put in his comment section because they keep trying to make it seem like we don't believe in Yahusha, right? I'm going to put in the comment section almost a statement of faith. Okay, this is what we believe. And I came back a few hours later and that comment was deleted. I said, well, I'm done. Because that's action to me. You don't want people to know.
Wow. I loved it that day you said, Abu, are you a Catholic?
Yeah, I remember that one.
I said, ding, 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 and he stuttered. And I was
like, called him out.
Yes. She said, are you a Catholic? I was like, uh-oh. I was watching it, and he stuttered. He said, yeah.
I am a Roman Catholic.
Yes. And I was like, there we go. Ding, ding, ding. And ever since then, people been, that's who brought that out. Ashonda brought that out. And when she did that, everybody was like, oh, so you coming for us. And you got this, yeah. But man, when I tell you, that's when you realize, like you said, who family is when you by yourself. And I ain't gonna say the people from Berean TV itself, the other panelists, because Father G went off on him. He Catholic, y'all don't do him like that. But he went off on a lot of people. But when the Israelite community came, I was like, wow, you know, and that's what they wanted to do. And they tried to do the same thing to Majors. And I said, no, I'm not gonna publicly blast anybody. Because that's what Berean wanted us to do. He wanted us to start doing videos. I'm separating myself from him. No, you got somebody who is he's questionable on somebody coming up dead in her computer, which is G-Man. You got Cherry who cusses everybody out. You got Faithful who's weird.
Let's not forget Chocolate Atheist.
The Chocolate Atheist. You got him up.
Don't be quantankerous now.
Quantankerous.
Be quantankerous.
I'm calling them out because I don't care nothing about them at the end of the day because they character. If we want to pull our character, put it on the table. I can. My life is an open book. I want them to open their book and let's see what's in there. Because
folks still unwrapping them Christmas gifts.
That whole thing that Kelly did with that police report. I sat there. I
fall off the bed.
I sat there and I said, wow.
You know what got me is that you give them room to try to live out the scriptures, you know, where the scripture says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And you watch the fruit and the fruit is rotten. And you be like, but they keep saying they're Christian, so I'm gonna give them a little leeway, right? And every single time the fruit that they produce is rotten, and all they want to do is kill, steal, and destroy. And so then you realize, oh, this is a front, right? They're not really truly Christians, right, or believers in Yeshua, because if they were, they would have did unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so that's the biggest problem I had, and we see that in Eurocentric Christianity as well. A big talk about being Christian and a big talk about abortions, but then they watch black folks get killed in the street and don't do nothing. And so, you start looking at that fruit, and that's what the Most High said. He said, you're going to know them by their fruit. And so a lot of us want to ignore the rotten fruit that we see because they keep saying that they're believers. But as Ashana said, I'm looking at what you do.
Correct. And you look at somebody's actions, because I'm gonna be honest, I was dedicated. Like every time Barrett say, E, I need you on. Okay. It could be 2:00 in the morning. What you doing, E? Nothing. I'm asleep. I'm about to go live. Can you get on? Okay. I would be like, okay. One live, it was so late at night that I was like half sleep. I was sitting in front of the screen and he was talking. It was like 10:00 at night. And I mean, I was so dedicated to Sunday seminary that I started my own channel and didn't spend no time on it. But when I left, I was like, I'm out. I'm bouncing. And what's so funny is it is what it is. I mean, and I'm not upset. In fact, I'm happy that the Most High did what he did. He needed to take me off that platform to do what he needed me to do. He knew if I stayed there that I could not fulfill his purpose, because I was going to have a noose around my neck the whole time. I wouldn't have been able to do nothing.
And look what you've been doing. I mean, you out here, you get what two-door power fit, on the channel, and I mean that's pretty impressive. I mean, not to mention Rabbi Cohen, Hamadishi. That is just for the Most High to give you those connections. It's like you let go of the old so you can embrace the new.
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I just love, the unity. And I praise y'all for this brother right here, Minister Yacoba, because you spoke so much life into all of us way before we knew anything, about what was going on with this whole identity thing and trying to wrestle with our faith in Christ. And it's like to see how he's uniting and bringing us all together like this. I mean, we just got to give him praise because he's good.
Man, Yacoba Teu Ministries was my Sabbath back in the day. Every Saturday morning, I'm cooking breakfast because I'm listening to what Teo teaching and Yacoba teaching. And I had took a little stint of a break and then came back and started back and listening. And that's when Teo was on all the time, and he made mention of what was going on. But I always stay connected with the brothers. Always. It was like I laugh and I say now, but when I first met them, I was like, wow, y'all you're Teu. And he could tell you, I was like, you're Teu. I couldn't get past it. And it wasn't starstruck like he's just this great thing, but it's just if you've studied under someone for so long, because that's the Darby and Teu. That's all I listen to. Madison knew, getting ready to listen to Teu for 2 hours. She should listen to Darby. It was either Darby or Teu in the headphones. And then when I ran across, like I said, Dante, it was Dante. And actually, I used to talk to Dante more before I met Teu. But when I see Teu, I mean Yacoba, both of them. But I mean, y'all was that first teaching that y'all did that was like 2 series. That's what I watched, and it blessed me. I remember that. And I used to have a hard time finding y'all name on YouTube. I'd be like, I'm tearing the spelling of this name up. It'd be TWEOTE. I said,
yeah, it was TEOTW.
Yeah, I'll say this. People come into our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so everybody's not meant to stay. And so what you went through, E, that was a season, and there was a reason for it. But, not everybody that starts out with you is meant to finish with you.
Mm-hmm.
and we trust the Most High to take us the rest of the way, and to continuously keep us, on our journey and bring those into our lives, that we need, that we know that are going to be there. The scripture says that, a brother is born, a friend loveth at all times, but a brother is born for adversity. And that's not really gender specific. It could be brother or sister, because what it's meaning is that your friend is going to love you, but your sibling, the person that's knit closest to you, and it doesn't necessarily mean, blood relative, but a brother or sister or somebody, it could be spirit connected as well. When it gets at the worst,
Correct.
while the friend supports you from the distance, the brother or the sister gets in the situation with you and goes through it with you until the end. They fight. You all stand back to back and fight, everything that's coming at you together. The friend cheers you on, but they don't necessarily always get in. And so there's different levels of, relationships in terms of people that come in. And some people are just there temporarily to help launch us into our next season. And perhaps that's what it was with you, over there on the other platform, because you look at how fast things have grown. Because, and the thing too, for all of us to remember, it's not even about us. It's about what the Most High is doing, through us. So when these platforms go from 0 to 1,000 or 10,000 or 25,000 or whatever, it's because the Most High is getting glory out of what's being done. We are the instrument or the vessel through which He is channeling His voice to reach people. And your voice will go further than you ever can and reach people that you will never meet. And the scripture says that truly their voices went out into all the ends of the earth. And so this is a God move or a Yah move. This is the Most High, and if we are nothing more than His microphones through which He amplifies and projects His voice, then so be His will. Because it's like I said, at the end, it's all about Him. Every eye shall see Him, not us. So as John the Baptist said, I must decrease so that He can increase. More of Him and less of me. But never ignore the fact that the vessel being used is also honored by the one using them. So don't discount yourselves or count yourselves out. And there's so much more work to be done, and we're going to have adversity. We're going to have struggles in our personal lives. There are going to be challenges in our finances and our health and our relationships and things. But the Most High is there to guard us and keep us through all of those things, because even with those things, they will sharpen us to help keep us focused on what's most important so that we can finish our mission. We all have a date to when our job comes to an end, and none of us know when that date is. Yep. It's kind of like a story my former pastor told me. He said a mother had 7 sons. And he told me this when he was comforting me about my father, who passed away at 50 years old. I mean, literally 1 month after he had turned 50. And he said, your dad's work was done. He had accomplished a lot in his life. And that was true. And my father was tired. And he said, it's like a mother who had 7 sons. And they would get up and they would each go to their jobs, but they all had different jobs. And based on the job they had and what their work was, it determined how long they were out. And she told all of them the same thing. When you finish your work, it'll be time for you to come on home. And so one by one, they all finished their work and they came home, and so that's the same way it is for us. We have work to do. Each of us don't do it all the same way, and may not even necessarily do the same exact thing, but it's all for the same purpose. It's for the expansion of the kingdom of the Most High and for the glorification of His name, to help people to be saved. And so when our work is done, then we too will be able to go home. And then we'll be gathered all together again, as one people in Him. And so everything that we do, like I said, it is a reason, a season, and a lifetime for people coming into our lives and for certain things happening. And I rejoice in the Most High for what I see, because I know that He has a plan for you and for me. And I see that plan coming to fruition more and more each day. And so I say to everyone on the panel and those listening in the chat, just to be encouraged. The scripture says, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. The outlook is bad, but it's good, because everything we see going on around us is crazy.
Yep.
But keep looking up, because that same Yeshua that you've seen carried away in the clouds will come back the same way for you and I. And so we have a hope, beyond this life, but we work while it is day to finish the work that we've been assigned.
And you know what I see is, this is just my observation, that those who are what we call Messianic Israelites that we've met, at least, I see a sincerity of going higher in the Most High, right? I see a sincerity of love for the Most High, and therefore there's a humility there, and there's a compassion for each other there that you don't see in other people. And as you were saying, Mr. Blacktastic, like for me, I'm glad that the Most High gave me a twin, right? Because a lot of the friends that I had growing up, they're gone, right? I can't tell you why they left, right? But they're gone. And so, and like my brother says, sometimes it's because they live in foul and you're living righteous, and they can't be around that light. And so, as we pursue the Most High, we're going to run into issues. We're going to, deal with trials, health issues, financial, all these kind of things. But the Most High is always there. And like for me, I had to learn how to be like Quiet Chain Cain. Sometimes I had to just walk the earth and be quiet and be by myself and say, okay, what's next, Lord? What you want me to do? And sometime as you go, you're going to get in some fights, right? You're going to get in some fights. But at the same time, you end up on top. And here's the thing. I think sometimes we are meant to fight for a season, because we have to oppose lies, and we have to oppose deception, and we have to say, hey, these people over here are not telling you the whole truth. Here's what the scripture says. Here's what the Most High is saying in his word. And so then we show them for liars, and we show them for traitors, right? Traitors to the true gospel, right? And we can see it. All we have to do is this: look at the fruit. That's what I said before. Look at our fruit, and let's look at UA fruit. Let's go list those fruits, and you're going to see a huge difference, right? And so, as we walk this thing out, right, you're going to see that light upon Israel, right? I'm already seeing it. I'm serious. I mean, I don't care. I'm talking more so about the Messianics, even some of the camps. I know they got some issues, right? But I know some of them are doing what they're doing because they believe what they're doing. But then others are part of, you know how that go. But I do believe that there's a change happening here, and it's like my brother said one time, right in the beginning of Tail Ministries, and we will see how big the camps were and how vocal they were. And my brother said, yeah, but when the born again Israelite awaken, watch out. And that's what I'm seeing today. The born again Israelites are awakening, and we shaking the foundations of this whole thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that. We're shaking. It's the shaking and the quaking of the dry bones, right?
Yep, that's it.
How long have y'all been out?
What's that?
How long y'all been out? Tell you.
Since about 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Yep, y'all been. No, yeah, I thought y'all was out even earlier than that.
No, I think 2015 probably was the earliest. I'd have to check. Look at I guess it would go by the video, right? So whatever the first video was uploaded, I don't know what that is. I'd have to check right quick.
Man, when I tell, because it feels like, I guess time goes by so fast.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I want to say it feels like it's 5 years ago. When I started watching y'all, it was 5 years ago. Like I said, the first video was End Time Prophecy, the True Hebrews and Armageddon. That was the first video I saw, because wasn't it 2 parts? It was 2 parts.
Yeah, I think it was 2 parts. And like the reason why we did it, because we was on that journey like everybody else, and say, hey family, look what we see. What y'all think?
Yep. Because it was Israel living in the land of their captivity, and then the other one was the True Hebrews and Armageddon. I remember that. I remember watching it, and I watched it twice and had to go back because I had to. It was the second one had a lot of information. I had to go back and research. So yeah,
That end times prophecy one with the timeline on it, right? I
yep,
think. Yeah.
yep, that's the one. I remember that one. In fact, somebody was arguing with me, and that was one of the videos I posted. I was like, "See, look at this." That was so funny. I would take y'all videos and argue with people with y'all stuff.
I would argue with people with Black history in the Bible a lot. You know, I mean, I'll tell y'all that's because that's how I found out about Teo Ministries is through Dante, and I was just like, you know, so much content on there was just and, you know, Dante just has this way of just you know, he just don't
Oh,
care. You know, he don't care who feelings he hurt. He don't care whose toes he step on.
oh yeah, he doesn't.
So you know, I would just when I didn't have the words, because you know when you first come in, it's like everything makes sense. Like I hear it, it makes so much sense, but I don't have the words to put it together myself. So let me let him say it, and then once I started getting stronger, that's when it was like, okay, I can stand on my own 2 feet. But I didn't see. Here's the thing. When I started with Shonda at Large, I never started out thinking that I was going to get into any apologetics or any type of real conversation about the scriptures on that level. It was just more so, okay, you know, I'm going to add my little 2 cents about, you know, just dealing with integrity, dealing with the problems in our community. And so I was doing these videos for about, I say 6, 7 months. Then all of a sudden, I get a comment in the comment section from Teo Ministries. And I'm like, what? What? I followed you from Dante from Black History. Of course, you know, I couldn't go out like a punk or nothing. So I was like, yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Oh, I went out like a punk. I'm just gonna say I went out like a punk. I was like, hey.
But you know what's interesting is, you know, like besides my brother, Dante was the second person I went to when I woke up, right? Because, you know, I've been knowing him for a while online. And I was like, you know, I know Dante's no nonsense, right? And so like if it's BS, he gonna say, look at Cobra, that's BS, right? And so that's why I say, look, bro, what you think it is? Look into it. And like he said, he was looking to disprove it, right? And he found out that it was true. And that's why I went to him, because he, you know, Dante gonna tell you straight up like it is, you know, and I respect that. I like people who speak their mind and do what they say they're gonna do and stuff like that. That's why we get along.
And you know what, Dante, I tell people this. I said Dante had more of a where when we were on Beren's channel, first Jacob and Tay said we're done. Then I say I was done. But you know what? Dante has had a bigger heart to say, y'all, let's just wait. Let's just wait. And let's see how he, you know, let's see how he's gonna do. Let's not, you know, let go. And he really had a heart to see Beren do right. And when Beren turned on, it was like all bets off. You don't turn on him, you know, because Dante, when he has your back, he has your back. Now that's one thing I know about him too. If he don't like you, he don't like you. If he got your back, he got your back. He's silent, but if you need him, he's there. Like Dante has been kind of quiet. I hadn't talked to him or seen him in a while. I mean, you know, in the chat or whatnot in our group, but if you need him, oh, he got you. And he
people. You got some stuff in the crock pot.
That his whole teaching on Law and Grace back in the day, that's when I ran across him because Tayu was on the channel. And I was like, who is this? Black History in the Bible. And he was so straight to the point. It was like, oh, he don't play no games. He don't pull no punches. But
yeah, and Dante will come up with stuff I don't even see, right? And I'm like, wow, dude, that's interesting, you know. So
yep.
You know, everybody has you know, as we talked in the series I'm doing on faith, we talked about the scripture where it says that to each of us has been given a measure of faith. That means everybody has the grace or the measure of faith for what the Most High has gifted them or assigned them to do, which is why there should never be any jealousy or envy amongst any of us, you know, about how well someone does their assignment, because it's their assignment, not yours. So that means that the Most High has given them necessary things to be able to fulfill it. And some people are just gifted, especially with that history piece, like Dante and Benea, to find hard to find things,
Yes.
and come up with them and to be able to bring them out, and explain them, and everybody has, their gifts similar to that, but not everybody's gifted in the same thing. And so this is why it's necessary for us to never forsake the community. This is really what the scripture, when it says forsake not the assembling of yourself, it's talking about don't forsake the community. It don't always mean you go, because you're not going, because you got to think about this. Even when they're writing that scripture, they couldn't always gather together in a place to have, what we would consider an assembly, or what they call a church gathering.
Yep.
So the main thing was them to make sure that whenever they did have the opportunity, they did that. Now with technology and things, there are other ways for us to do that as well. We don't always do that physically. We can do that now through technology. Right now, this is an assembly. Those stuck in tradition don't see it that way. But this is an assembly. This is a kahal. This is a congregation. This is an ecclesia, because we're gathering to share and to come together. And this is one of the important things about that is it gives us as a community the opportunity to benefit from everyone else's gift. So I get to benefit from how you're gifted, E. I get to benefit from Ashanda's gift. I get to benefit from Yakoba's gift. Even reading and seeing things in the chat, you get to benefit from what other people have that the Most High has gifted them with to give, to the community or to the assembly of believers. And so it's like we having a spiritual potluck in a sense. Everybody doesn't have to bring the same thing, and don't nobody bring potato salad with raisins, because we had to, put you out as a sinner. But in any event,
If I see raisins, I'm asking.
But everybody is, like I said, is gifted, in their particular ways, and this is the benefit, like I said, of coming together. We don't know it all, but what we do know, we bring it together so that collectively we can get all of what everybody knows and share, so that everybody grows. And that's why it's important to continue doing these things. And that's why, I'm all for getting away from the conflict, because it distracts us from the building. And it reminds me of Nehemiah. They were constantly being distracted by Sanballat and Tobiah, who were trying to stop them. And at one point, the scripture says that, there was rubbish because the work had ceased. So they had to get back to the work. And it says, so they worked with the building tool in one hand and a sword in the other hand. And sometimes while you're building, you can fight the good fight of faith. Because like Nicole said, sometimes we got to speak out and come against these untruths and these certain things, and whatnot. But we can't let it stop us from building. Like Nehemiah told Sanballat, why should I come down to you and the work cease? I am doing a great work and I will not come down. And that's what we have to tell a lot of times our enemies, frenemies, and those who want to come against us, because we got work to do and the time is short. Every day is a day closer to the return of the Lord, and we got to get a people prepared to meet him.
Yep. Somebody's talking about Pastor Omar. I have tried to reach out to him. Anybody know how to get in touch with Pastor Omar? Please let me know, because he does not return emails. Because I would love to have him, have a conversation with him and get, meet him, because he's another one that kind of touched a lot of people's lives as well. We don't talk about him much. And it's not because we don't talk about him much because we don't follow him. We don't talk about him much because I guess because, he made an impact. He made a great impact. It's not a but. It's just he was a part of that one dynamic group, which was Pastor Omar, Bishop Coleman, and Pastor Darby. Now, I've talked to Bishop Coleman before. He's a nice guy, but Pastor Omar doesn't respond to emails. So if anybody knows how to get in touch with him, please ask him, can he please reach out? Because I really want to talk to him. So, but Y'all, it looked like everybody dropping off one by one. So, anybody got closing words before we leave out? Yeah, I know he believes in the 12 tribes chart. Yeah.
Yeah, and he believed Native Indians are us as well, and Mexicans, the whole thing. So I don't understand it. He's an attorney. I'm like, I mean, he got the research skills, so I don't know what's going on there. You know.
No, I think everybody dreamt on. Because what's crazy is Darby believed the African were the northern tribe, the people in Africa. So I'm just like, how are you and Darby? Y'all should have. I don't know. Darby didn't believe in it. I know Darby didn't believe in that 12 tribes chart.
Yeah, he didn't.
I said it. No.
Yep, I said it.
But everyone, thank y'all so much for supporting us. Yakoba, you got something you want to do this week? We can do it on my channel. You're welcome to do it on my channel.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe I'll get some of y'all on the new extended channel to get people over there.
Yes. I'm game. You know, I'm always game to be on your channel. You know, you don't send me the link no more. I'm not important.
Yeah, I was thinking we could talk about them seals.
Baby seals that you got out here.
I'm not bothered about none of y'all. Neither one of y'all. You or Yakoba. Where's Taylor? Taylor got the link too. He didn't come out. I'm gonna get him.
You know, we're gonna rescue these seals from you.
Y'all, you know what? Somebody said new extended. Y'all, okay, let me make the announcement. Teo has a new channel called Teo Extended. We're gonna talk about baby seals tomorrow. I'm not bothered about this. Y'all have to catch the video from yesterday to understand what this joke is about. So y'all go sub the channel, please. If you want us to do some stuff, I'm welcome. I mean, I'm open. I don't have nothing. I'm always at home.
Yeah, man. While y'all on lockdown, man, get swole, man. You know, y'all come out ready. You know, eat all your cornbread, like you said. And like,
let me show them the channel.
Wait on y'all.
Hold on, let me show the channel on the page. So
you know what might be interesting to talk about. What? Well, my show should be open because I just will try to do it today. They say 24 hours, so I guess that'll be ready sometime tomorrow. What if we talk about the different biblical canons? Talk about the 66 books versus the Ethiopian Bible versus the Apocrypha, the Pseudepigraphia, and all those things, and what we all think about that. That might be interesting to talk about.
I would enjoy talking about that. I would.
You game, Mr. Blacktastic?
That's a great topic, man. I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going live tomorrow to do part 3 of faith. But whenever you guys are doing that, I would love to even just listen in on that. That's a great topic. That's always a great topic because it's an issue that's never been settled, even in the halls of academia. They still discuss it, debate it, and it's never been a violent or vicious type of thing. It's always been an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I definitely would like to hear about that conversation. So hold on, when is the 7 days up for you guys to come back on?
Wednesday.
Okay.
So here's the extended channel. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in here.
Yeah, I would love to hear, because I want to hear the other perspectives and viewpoints, on especially like with the Ethiopian canon and different things.
Yeah, maybe Sister E could reach out to Zadok.
Oh yeah, I reach out to Zadok and see. Oh, Zadok always ready to talk. Dojo.
Young chimney girl, he want to smoke.
He love to smoke. I'm gonna reach out to him.
And the Shonda and all of them too.
Yep, we get them all.
Pastor Renese.
We can't max out at what, 10?
At 10, huh?
You gonna have a whole party.
Now, if we could get Dante, that'd be great too.
Man,
Dante.
Dante, I'm gonna have to do, y'all. I gotta get Dante to do an interview. I think have I done? But the crazy thing, I ain't did no interviews on none of y'all. I haven't interviewed you, Blacktastic. Dante is good with the interviews. I just try to figure out what to ask, but he got to get up here some kind of way. We got to get him up here in one of these conversations. You think you can talk him into it, Jacoba, tomorrow?
No.
If I make it to Vegas this year, I'm gonna pull up on Dante and have him take me to one of them buffets. We're gonna take pictures of me getting my eat on in Vegas, man. I'm hoping that happens
Yeah.
because I got a possible trip planned. That was
Look,
like,
I think Sister E gonna have to do like the unjust judge, the woman with the unjust judge.
yeah.
Well,
We gotta pull him out, man.
man,
You're gonna have to mess with Dante every day till he say, okay, just stop it. I'm coming on.
you're not
You
gonna
gotta call him out like Ali did Lister. You gotta just keep calling him out.
Yeah.
y'all trying to send me out. He's not gonna talk crazy to me. Y'all gonna get tired. No, I'm gonna keep asking him because Dante is. I tell people this. Dante is a blessing. People like we need to stop. Well, no, everybody ain't meant to stop fighting. Dante is a warrior. Let him do what he gonna do. He keeping these folks on their heels, and he's not done yet. And I told Dante this one time, the last time I said, Dante, I'll go with you. Every time you go to Beren's, I'm gonna go with you, but I don't like it, but I'll get up there. I would never, and that's the same thing with Yacoba. Yacoba knows Sister E will fight with us. But Dante, he fight hard to the point I'm exhausted. Like, you ain't done yet? We've been up here 2 hours fighting. He like round 3. I be like, Lord.
And we told you, we said, say his name, I dare you.
Dare you. I tagged y'all in a post I found that said Candy, the guy who played in the Memphis movie, he said Candyman. I tagged it. I said I gotta find it, but it was so funny. But yeah, I'm gather up some people. I'll see if Zadok. I know Zadok open. He ready to be young dojo.
Yeah, he be in that dojo, don't he?
Man, young dojo. And I see who else? I know you said Shonda and a couple others. That would be fun. I would love to do that. You're gonna make me have to study the different versions of the Bible tomorrow, or different editions tomorrow. That's gonna be my homework.
Yeah, and see if Pastor Luis is available too.
That's the most excited Pentecostal, Hebrew, Jewish, Rastafarian. Hallelujah. I mean, I'd be like, I just love his spirit. He is off the chain. He is excited. I love his spirit. You got to have an energy drink though. But the whole time he on 10. He was in the chat. I was gonna send him the link, and then he didn't say anything else. So I thought he was gone. I think he gone. I was gonna send it to him though. But yes, he all wrapped up in just.
And Mr. Karras.
Karras. Oh, Karras is not hard to reach out to. I think
I got his email. I'll send it to him. Mr. Karras, make yourself ready.
Who else?
Karras had me laughing earlier. He put something in the chat about how I was trying to keep my composure. It was something about mammies, and I just was like, let me hold it.
You know what'd be funny? You and Karras in the same room, we will die laughing.
Karras is funny. He said he's gonna start calling his channel "Coming Awakens to Carter." He said earlier, he said the G Money line from New Jack City. CMB, we all we got.
I can't deal with y'all. I can't deal.
I look at the chat, man, but I have to keep my composure because the chat be on the chain.
Oh, somebody said, where's the Muhammad dude? He's been busy. I reached out to Muhammad Tanzamore. He's been real busy with his music, so he's not available to do anything right now.
He got a mixtape, Sister E?
I don't think he does. He produces others. He doesn't. I don't think he does his own stuff, but he produces others. So He's just been really busy. But I can find the excited Pentecostal Hebrew Ethiopian Coptic Rastafarian Pastor Luis. I'm just messing with him. I hope he in the chat so he can laugh. But he is nice. And just give me a list. I help you round up some people for tomorrow.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's gonna be real interesting. So my job is
Mr. Blacktastic, what time is your show tomorrow?
I'm going on at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
We don't go on that early, sir. When we do stuff, it be 6, 7 o'clock.
I started going on earlier on Sunday. Just
if you
just
catch
because
if you catch
I was gonna go on even earlier, but I know all the good church folks gonna be in church, so I'm gonna catch some of them coming out of church and be like, I got you.
Make them mad.
I'll say now, did this sound like what y'all just heard?
They praying for you. They got you.
Remember Dante used to do those go ask your pastor stuff.
Man, I need him to do those. He would laugh the whole time.
That's why I moved my show. I was like, they're gonna go to church, then they gonna go to dinner, then they gonna go home with the itis, and if they catch me at the right time. Like, aha.
That day he said, let's see if I can get your pastor to punch you in the face.
Man. Oh man, he need to bring that segment back. I used to be rolling.
Man, and he would laugh the entire time. And you could hear him laughing. I need him to do that. He said, let's see if I can get you kicked out the church today. I used to love those. I wish we could Dante up here with us, though. That would be amazing. I wish we could.
That would be cool. That would be real cool. Like I said, I see his schedule. I see what he has planning. So I know he got some stuff coming up. So
what time we going? I don't do 3, 4 o'clock. My time is 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe if everything work out on this new channel, maybe like 6:37.
Okay, cool.
Central time.
That's good.
6:37. Okay. I'm still good with that time.
Okay.
Yes, just thumbs up.
Yeah, you're on the East Coast now, girl. You changed.
Man, that time
zones.
We got a new wait a minute, time's supposed to switch over, or has it switched already?
Oh, you know what? I think time does switch tomorrow. We go an hour forward.
Yep. So what it means? So
you lose sleep, right?
Yeah. Because what is it? In the winter is we fall back, and in the spring we spring forward. So let's go. So all the clocks are going to change tonight at midnight.
It's midnight.
They're going to change sometime during the course of the morning. So, like my clock right now says 12:06, so it's actually going to be more like 1:06.
Oh yeah. So it's like time has changed.
So we are into the hours that most of the folks that's going to be in the choir tomorrow morning start leaving the club.
That's so true, yeah.
They're trying to get there on time and put that robe on. Sunday school superintendent starts stepping out in a few minutes.
I gotta get home because I gotta get up in the morning, open the church.
Yeah, so it's about right.
Putting his cools in his armrest so won't nobody see.
All the ushers getting that text from the head usher. Hey y'all, don't forget.
All right tomorrow.
Yeah, be responsible. Don't drink and drive. Y'all tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm not
but boy, those Israelites, I tell you.
And they blasted 7.
Angie said they're gonna be in their church with the club stamp on their head.
What's so funny here?
They put that wrong finger up to go out there, but be like, "Ooh, I know where you was at last night."
Wait a minute.
I saw you.
What's so funny is that happened to me before. Because when you go to court, you have to get a stamp to show you legal to drink. And it was a certain color, and I raised my hand, and the stamp was still there showing that I could legally drink. But the crazy thing is, I was underage. So everybody was
Very
like,
busted. Oh my goodness.
goodness. I was 19 or 20, and was able to slip in and get the stamp. Oh, man.
Great busted.
That's why I said I did some of my, never mind, best drinking. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. We'll be up here laughing all night because
man. You know, I mean, hey, you know, we just gonna pray for them. The DJ got to shut down to play the organ in the morning, so it is what it is.
or he at the nightclub playing the organ. And this is the church musicians playing on Bill Street.
You know, that's why the brothers come in and be in their shades. I don't want you to see it. Still tired.
Man, every single musician that's on Bill Street plays at church. Every one of them. I don't think it's not one in the house that don't have a church. They play for.
Well, I mean, folks, hey, I understand it. You go to the club on Saturday night so you can practice your shout for Sunday morning. That's your rehearsal. You get it all together. That's what it is. It's an honest thing. They doing it for they choreographing. Choreography. Working it out.
Oh my goodness. I can't with y'all.
They're working it out.
I'm done. Somebody said, oh, that's right. She said something. Let me put it up here. And that's true. Oh my goodness. This is true right here, though.
Yeah.
That's so true.
He's selling sticks on Saturday and playing with sticks on Sunday. Just two different sticks.
That is so true. The drama is the one that always. She knows the church well. She knows the church musician section well. He's standing in the corner saying, like, do you have my stuff?
They like when I give the organist the cue and the music go high, just shout over here and I'm gonna throw it on the ground and then fall out in the spirit and pick it up.
Smokey, where my money, Smokey? Man, you know I got it, yeah. I gotta go home and get it.
Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna deal with y'all tonight. Talking about the saints and the weed man, the drummer.
They're gonna have folks sowing seeds on us tomorrow. Y'all better stop. Y'all know we still got too many family members in church that might see this.
That is true.
Oh my
You're gonna wake up tomorrow with all kinds of blessed oil all over your house. People
They're gonna give you the right hand of fellowship.
Oh my goodness.
Hey man, we saw that show. We praying for y'all.
Telling all our business.
For the whole bottle of extra virgin olive oil.
Oh my goodness.
Man, look, Fantastic gonna come out all soaking wet with all on them.
They're gonna be quoting scripture to justify it, like the oil that ran down Aaron's beard. I'm like, do I look like Aaron?
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Don't say it and say ouch.
Y'all, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and laugh all night, but this is hilarious. I'm not dealing with you or your Cobra. Oh my goodness. Y'all got my face
Lord
hurt.
have mercy.
You're gonna get a phone call, Black Tastic.
Man, I might have to go to Sunday school just to show them I ain't mean it. I was like, these were just jokes, y'all. Get that finger and go out. It was just jokes.
You're gonna have to teach. They ain't gonna let you teach something. You're
Lord.
gonna make everybody upset. They be like, everything they told you was.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus was not white, he was black. Yep. They be like, escort him out.
Your Cole gonna do like Huey at the garden party on the boondocks. He gonna be like, no. He told us the truth. I mean, knocking over pews, throwing him no snow.
I'm not dealing with y'all. I'm not dealing with y'all.
Tell you gonna be waiting on your coat when you come out. Didn't I tell you not to tell them? Told you they couldn't handle it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Let me put your YouTube channel. I am not gonna deal with y'all today. Oh, y'all are disrupting the church. Y'all just upsetting the saints. Oh, this is too funny. I just put your YouTube in the chat. Y'all, we finna stop. Because we can laugh all night long about this stuff. Somebody pastor finna call. You finna get a call from a family member, Black Pastor.
Yeah, man. I do want to attend at least one church picnic. That barbecue fire.
But you can't eat the barbecue no more because they got pork ribs.
Well, they got chicken. The chicken is the most faithful member in church. It's at every event. It might be in heaven. You can't name one church event you've been to where ain't no chicken being served. Not one. From a baby shower to a funeral, the chicken is with you from life until death.
I'm not gonna sit here, y'all. I know y'all enjoying this. We gonna go. Cause we're gonna be all night laughing. There's something wrong with you. Something overboard. Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord.
Oh, and all of us, they're gonna invite us. We're gonna get invited to a church, all of us. And they gonna be like, y'all remember the time y'all was laughing at us?
Oh man, we in trouble. We in trouble.
Oh man, that was good. Somebody gonna do an 8-hour live. They talked about the church family. No. Y'all, we finna go. I am sleepy. I know what Black Tastic is sleepy, so and you go back even. So I am. I enjoyed this, y'all. This was fun. And I cannot wait for tomorrow because this is gonna be fun as well. I think this is a good time. Everybody is able to kind of interact and come together and laugh like this and fellowship. So this is a lesson. So tell Curious to stop. We can put in time out. So Curious said you're gonna be available tomorrow. So yes or no? He'll let us know. But all right, family. Love y'all. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. And I will see y'all on tomorrow. Make sure if y'all have not subscribed for Black Tastic page, I put the link in there. And also subscribe for Teo Extended channel as well. So all right. Love y'all, family. See y'all on tomorrow.